Well, I am an admirer of Elisa's. Elisa has even worked for me, and the fact is that she is talented.
What's it called? Kermit and Friends?
Kermit and Friends.
Kermit. But if Kermit.
You're saying
like
not to
frog?
do...
Yeah,
wait.
I actually have watched a few hours of Kermit and Friends.
How many hours have you watched, Natalie?
Oh, no. Probably indulged in 8 hours.
Holy.
My wife and I watched Benji's ex-girlfriends or whatever's going on. We watched this crazy podcast, and I have to say, this is one of the, probably in the top 5 things I think about right now.
She has a podcast, but she gets to come on the radio. It is craziness upon craziness.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Kermit and Friends. I'm Elisa. This is Fozzie, and Kermit is watching from heaven. Fozzie has something like stuck in his paw right now, so if anybody has any advice about that, please reach out to me. See, his paw's all messed up. All right, Fozzie, just go to the side. We have a lot to cover today. We have Gene Wilder, who is an amazing musician that just put out an album, and we have his single from the album to play. Super excited. Andy Dick is like the featured guest on this song. So that's pretty funny. And, obviously we're going to talk to him. We have Nicole Hawkins, who is writing a book series. Actually, Coach Love booked Nicole Hawkins. So let's just talk to her about that guest. Welcome to the show, Coach Love.
Hi, how are you, my dear?
I feel like this is my last day on earth because I'm going into an office tomorrow. I think I told you.
Yes.
Just dreading it and just very depressed and sad. And I just feel like this is my last day. So I just have to make the most of it.
You know what? I'm totally... So I know you don't want to do this work, and I know you're good at this work. It's just that I'm like, your heart's in this work.
Yeah, but then I think about it. I think, what is my heart in? Is my heart in... Like, I love doing this show and things like this and creative things. That's something that I enjoy. I don't know who I even am anymore. It's so confusing. Like, this year has confused me a lot. And I just got used to just working on Kermit and Friends and doing like creative projects. So now to be in an office with other people that are like working and it just like makes me sick.
Honestly, I think you just have to do this so you can get it out of your system so that you can prove to you that you should not do that. But honestly, I already know that you should not do that.
I know. It's so obvious. Speaking of obvious things that maybe some people should not do, I want to talk about you and Charmin right now.
Oh my gosh. Wait a minute. What do you think we should not do?
Well, it really reminds me, I don't know if I told this story, but one time I was taking a city bus. Yeah. And there was this like homeless guy on the city bus, and I was really intimidated of him. He looked scary. He was like staring at me. And I was like, oh my God, is this guy going to kill me? So I started to talk to him, and be nice to him, because I'm like, odds are if I'm nice to this guy, he won't kill me, right? If I don't talk to him and I avoid him, it's more likely he's going to kill me. So I feel like that's kind of the situation you and Charmin got in. Like, you're scared as hell of this person. Here, I'm just going to show a clip of Charmin. This is freaking hilarious.
Oh, let's see.
This is hilarious. I have this clip. That guy up high I made of Charmin. And actually, you're in it too. Your voice is in it. Listen to this.
Are you a convicted felon? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. What are you a convicted felon for?
You have to do more research on this for me to actually say it the way that you guys are presenting it. You see?
Okay.
So I think I talked to a lot of people in the community about this, and this guy Yins, who's like a huge sports fan, he runs a sports channel. He told me he was too intimidated to speak on his like opinion. Like, so many people came forward and told me that they were like scared. So I just want to say to people, if you have an opinion, like, don't be scared to say it. Like, speak up. And I think people are afraid because that guy that you guys interviewed, Mark Connors, showed up at T-Bob's house. So he said that he had a restraining order against T-Bob, but then he showed up. So like, that was weird. I remember when he was talking about the restraining order, I was thinking, why would he have a restraining order against someone he never met? Like, I think I should have restraining orders against like so many people, but those are people that I've met. Not people that I've never met. Have you ever gotten a restraining order against someone before?
I did.
You did.
I had to think about, did I actually do it? It was an unfortunate situation, and just someone wanted to be too close.
Was it someone you knew though? It has to be someone you know. Yeah, it has to. Okay. Hold on one second, Coach Love. Just 1 second. I'm just getting a caller. Kermit and Friends, how can I help you?
Hi, Lisa. It's Barry.
Hey, Barry. What's up?
Hi. I just wanted to bury the hatchet with you, and basically, if that's cool. And basically, you and I are at a feud right now over something that you did and you said falsely about me, okay, in Discord. And that's why I'm so upset. Okay, because I've been nothing but there for you the entire time, ever since you launched Kermit and Friends and ever since we met as friends, okay? And I just feel like I'm totally used and like I was taken advantage of by you. And, and when you said what you said about me asking you for all financial like portfolios and like all this stuff, that was a blatant lie. What I had asked you for was to see if you were okay financially, because I had heard from somebody in the Kermit and Friends community that you were struggling financially and you were looking for a job. And then you had told me, you said, well, I'm fine financially. I don't need to worry about the money. And I'm like, okay.
No, but I should not be talking about money with Barry. That's the thing. Like, Barry or you or anyone really should not be calling me and asking personal questions. That's why I don't answer the phone anymore. And I also don't answer the phone because you're posting shit about me in Discord like all day long about how like something about Sarah Michelle Gellar or like some, I don't even know.
I didn't post anything about Sarah Michelle Gellar. That was just somebody else.
Oh.
That was somebody else that posted about Sarah Michelle Gellar. But I think it was Leaf actually that mentioned Sarah Michelle Gellar or something, I don't know. But basically, I just want to bury the hatchet with you, Lisa, and be cool. So can we be cool? And I've always been there for you. It's like, do you remember how you were going through a really hard time last year? And I called you out of the blue right when you were launching Kermit Friend. Do you remember? And you had said, Barry, I'm going through a really hard time. My boyfriend just broke up with me, and I said, okay, Lisa, I'll be there for you.
No, but Barry, you're a fair weather friend. You're a fair weather friend. You talk so much shit about me. You talk so much shit about me, Barry.
Lisa, what you have to understand is that I'm not a fair weather friend. Okay?
You are a fair weather friend. You talk so much shit. You and Quigley, you two are just like two peas in a pod over there. You guys talk so much shit about me, and then you call me just incessantly.
Hold on. Elisa.
What?
what we do is called entertainment. It's called shock jock value, okay? It's something you wanted to do for a show, okay, by creating Kermit and Friends, okay? So me and Quick go around by pushing your little show for you, okay, which is growing, by the way, but not that much, okay? It's growing, but more slowly, you know? But what we do is we go around, believe it or not, promoting your show for you by creating this toxic kind of like fake persona, right? That basically, and that's the God honest truth, that by creating controversy for you. That's the bottom line. It's called entertainment, okay? That's the bottom line. It's called entertainment. You should know me better by now, Elisa. You should know that I'm a shock jock, okay? And that I care about you genuinely as a good friend, but I would never intentionally harm you in any way whatsoever. And the other thing is that I genuinely do care about you and love you a lot as a good friend, you know? And I'm just a shock jock. That's all I am, is a shock jock. And anything I do in any other show or anywhere I go is purely for entertainment purposes, okay? To help push you. Okay.
But you call me over and over, and like the people that call me just all day long and then talk shit about me in my own fan club, saying the worst things about me, putting me down. That's not a friend. I don't like that kind of friendship. That's why Quigley is like gone right now. He's done. He does the same thing as you do, pretty much just Googling himself all day, sending me the search results and then comparing it to me. That's like not a friend. That's weird. And I'm just done with it. I just don't like it, Barry.
Okay, well, I'm just telling you that you have the complete misconception of what's going on, okay? And basically, I'm just trying to create entertainment and controversy and shock jock stuff. That's all I'm doing. It's all I do.
Yeah.
You know that. You know my reality show. You've seen it.
I've never seen it.
By the way, I'm getting ready to film season 2 now. And it's going to be even more shocking for season 2. Because people are actually going to see the fucking shithole environment I'm living in. But I'm just grateful to have a roof over my head because the feds left me with nowhere to go. And I was living in a fucking $500,000 apartment on South Beach. And then all of a sudden I got arrested for bullshit. And I wound up being dumped in the street by the feds. And I've been trying to rebound my life ever since I got out of the state hospital. And I'm doing so quite well.
Do you think the feds were on to something there?
You think what?
You think the feds were on to something?
About what?
You know, dumping you maybe on the street?
No, they didn't like me because I created a lot of, what do you call it? I was a pain in the ass.
Yeah. I agree with them.
To the police for a long time. And so the feds stepped in the picture and they wrongfully arrested me. I became a nuisance is what they called me. And in the psychological evaluation, the doctor said, look, he may be a nuisance, but he's far from a threat. He's no threat to society at all. He has no issues with anybody. He just wants to help.
Okay.
And it's all he ever wanted to do was help. That's why he joined me as a volunteer.
Barry, you don't happen to own.
Man,
let me ask you a question. You don't happen to own a karate studio, do you?
No.
Okay, just checking. All right, Barry, call back. I gotta go. I have to get to Nicole Hawkins.
Bury the hatchet, Lisa.
Okay, the hatchet buried.
I'll tell you what. I'll make a compromise with you. Okay. Please apologize to me for slamming me. I'm in the Discord.
I didn't. I didn't even slam you. That's why. I don't slam you in the Discord.
I promise you. I will stop talking shit behind your back on any show. Okay. And I will stop saying stuff for entertainment purposes, okay? But as far as I'm concerned, I was bringing in new fucking viewership for you.
Where? Show me one viewer that you brought, and this is all buried. One viewer, one original viewer.
Elisa.
Bring me one person, one human being that's alive, and I will forgive you for everything. Just one person. Just one.
Kyle Henson.
No, he's not here. Okay, fine. He's a person.
They came on your show and
forgot about him.
I booked them, and you know you know, and they listen every fucking week, as far as I know.
All right. Okay, fine, Barry. Okay. I have to show you respect for that, Barry. Okay, I'm sorry. I went too far. You're a nice guy. I know you're trying. I just don't like it when my friends talk shit about me in my own fan club. And they also call me incessantly over and over and over. I just can't stand that. So, you know, it's hard to be friends with somebody. Like, I can't answer the phone. And if you're going to ask me financial questions, like, you know, my financial status, I just can't. There's just no way, Barry. I just can't have a friendship like that. It's too weird.
I will listen to that.
And I don't even like, there's people in my regular life.
I asked you, are you financially okay?
Yeah.
Somebody alarmed me in the head that you were looking for a job.
You're okay. You think you're going to get me a fucking job? Just get the fuck out of here. It's great. I can't take you. I do not like you. Do not like you. Sorry, just hung up. Okay, I'd like to play a message for Trumpster Bob before I get to Nicole. Here you go.
Well, hey there, it's Dolly here, and I just wanted to say I'm a huge fan of Kermit and Friends. I love the whole gang over there, but especially I love T-Bob, you big boy, you. Who knew he could throw a right hook like that? They really knew what they were doing when they named Bob Coo of Kermit and Friends. T-Bob is my main man. I love him very much, and I'm so happy that Jolene didn't get you, T-Bob. So let me sing you a little song right now in this special dedication. Jolene, 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 I'm begging of you, please don't take my man. Now, I could stay here all night, but I can't because I got to get on stage. So, you have some fun, Kermit. Take care, gang.
All right, isn't that nice, Bob? See, Bob, you're the winner here of all this. Even though people were coming out against you, people were showing up at your house. You're safe. You're on Kermit and Friends. You're COO. Are you excited to be here today, Bob?
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect today, and I'd love to see Dolly come on the show. It was a great show. I'm glad to be here. A lot of people, there's been a lot of controversy about me even being over here, and people try to sway me both ways. I finally just shed all of that lettuce. Let's put it that way. It's a bunch of chopped up lettuce. And I just told them, look, man, this is the direction. I feel like going in. If I'm going to have fun, I'm going to have fun.
Yeah, just have fun. I want people to enjoy it. Bob, you have had fun the whole time. You love live streaming. You love doing a show, and I enjoy watching you. So, Bob is here to stay. So whoever wants to get rid of him, screw you. Okay, so now I'm going to bring on our first guest, which Erica left. I don't know where she went. But so our first guest is Nicole Hawkins, who has a book out that I'm very interested in. I believe it's called Fuck Caregiving. Am I right about that, Nicole?
Absolutely. Hello.
Hi, welcome to Kermit and Friends. I am so happy that you are here. You were booked by good. So you were booked by Coach Love. Yes. She mentioned to me that you have a book out. Tell us a little bit about your book, Fuck Caregiving.
Yes. Well, my husband went through cancer, and during that time, I was basically his primary caregiver. So it just goes into all of the details about, the emotions, how you're feeling during that time, like the depression that you're going through. We don't take away from the sufferers, what they're going through, but, we also have to basically embrace our own feelings as well as the caregiver. A lot of people don't really give respect to the caregiver, and they think that, we have to always remain humble and noble, and it is a noble act, but you also have to embrace your feelings and try to figure out how to really come through with joy on the other side. And that's what the book is about.
So you felt as a caregiver, you weren't getting respect?
No, it wasn't necessarily that I wasn't getting respect, because my husband was really, really appreciative of everything I did for him. But it was just the fact that it's such a hard task that people don't realize unless you're in that position. And it was just one of those things that I wanted people to know, that you can find the joy within this if you just take a little time to really dig deep inside of you and figure it out.
Okay. So it wasn't that your husband was disrespecting you, it was other people.
No. Nobody wasn't disrespectful. It was just more myself. It was my internal feelings, how I was feeling about the whole situation, how you're going through so much that you don't realize that you're feeling depression, anger, all kinds of things. So you were mad at God. Like, I know I was mad at God. I'm trying to figure out, why is this even happening right now?
For putting you in that situation?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just for the situation itself, not necessarily to, like, I had resentment, but not necessarily towards my husband personally, but it was more towards the illness and because me and my husband have a great relationship. We've been together for 23 years. And this was just one of those things that really kind of put a bombshell on everything. I mean, we were in such a great space. And then boom, this happened. And I know a lot of caregivers feel this way. So I kind of came up with the book for caregiving.
Wow. So what's your advice to people that are feeling that way, that are in that situation?
Don't lose yourself. You cannot lose yourself. You have to practice self-care, because if you do not, you will lose yourself every time. You have to give yourself that time. You have to give yourself that respect. You have to give yourself those boundaries. You just really have to love on yourself at the same time that you're loving on someone else. Because, as I always say, you cannot pour from an empty cup.
No, you cannot. So how do you make sure your cup's not empty? I'm not even a caregiver, but I feel like I have an empty cup a lot of the time. How do you fill that cup?
Well, you have to do things for yourself. You have to find yourself, your individuality. You have to find things that give you that feel good feeling. Like for me, meditation was heavy. It was heavy for me. Meditation was good. I used to be an avid softball player. So I actually went out and got a T-ball stand and some balls and bats, and I just would hit it. And that would like allow me to feel, it was kind of like exercise. You know how you go to the gym and you get all this, all this frustration and everything out of you, and then you feel so much better on the other side. That was what I was doing. I was trying to figure out things to do, whether it's walking, meditation, any activities that you could do, journaling, things of that nature that will really help me out.
Yeah, sometimes, like yesterday, for instance, I woke up, I was so depressed. I was so sad. And I said, I'm going to just force myself to have a good day today. I'm going to force myself. I'm going to give myself no choice. Yes. And I'm going to act like I'm a happy person. I'm going to act. I'm going to pretend to be a happy person and do a bunch of things that happy people do. And it turned out to be a great day.
See?
Yeah. So that was amazing.
Mindset is everything.
Yeah. But sometimes you have to fake it till you make it, I think, with that mindset, because sometimes I just get so negative and I say, what can I do? Okay, I'm just going to fake it. I'm just going to do things that a different person would do. Maybe a different person would take a walk. Getting outside is very important. Being around people, no matter what kind of people they are. I mean, not like Barry, but like, at least some normal people. Yes. Just try to find the most normal people possible. Yes. Stay around them, see what they're doing. Because I don't know, for me, I mean, I have a long problem with depression. Yours seems more situational. Would you say it was situational?
I would say so. Yeah.
Yeah. So your situation was really tough. And it sounds like but are you through it? Are you a caregiver now?
I mean, he still has things that he's going through. So, and he's mainly mobile. He can kind of do things for himself, but we still kind of attacked everything together.
Okay. So you're still kind of helping him, and you're writing these books. And I heard this book is not just going to be one book.
Yes.
Is this going to be a series?
Yes.
Okay. So what? I hope the next book is not Fuck Kermit and Friends. What's the next book?
Not. Well, my next book is going to be about what did I say? It was Fuck Your Beauty. Gosh, I wrote it down too. Fuck Your Beauty.
Fuck Instagram. Oh, your beauty standards.
Yes,
that is good. Okay,
and it has a little subtitle to go with it. But yes, that is going to be my next
Fuck
one.
Your Beauty Standards. Yeah, that's another thing that's annoying. I'm like annoyed with so many things right now. And that's definitely one of them. Yes. Like just the impossible beauty standards. I mean, I haven't taken a photo without a filter in like 3 years. Hold on, I'm getting a call. Kermit and Friends, how can I help you?
Hey, Lisa, it's Gonzo.
Hey, Gonzo. What's up?
I had a question for Nicole about caregiving, because I've been very stressed lately, and I think I realized it's because of my jerk bros and just being in control of jerk bros. I've been researching what clips to watch, and everybody's fighting, and I'm very overwhelmed with my jerk bro.
Wait,
crew. So
you watch?
Nicole would recommend I just step back from the jerk bros or take a smaller role because I do feel like a caregiver.
Wait, you're watching clips of other guys jerking off, Gonzo?
No, I'm researching clips because there's a lot of different requests. Some people like big booty bitches. Other people like, gay porn. It's just very stressful, and I don't know what to do. If I should just take a seat back or what. Some people want to do it interactive.
Interactive?
Pictures and talk about it. Claire left. I'm going through a lot right now. So.
Wow. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Gonzo. It sounds like a tough situation.
It's okay. I'm gonna buy the book.
You're gonna buy the book? Okay, good. Thank you. Yeah, some situations are just worth stepping away. And that's a hard thing to decide. Okay, is this gonna do something for me? Sometimes I do something and I'm like, why am I doing this? I don't want to do this. It just came to me. And then I say to myself, oh, should I just step away? Or is this in my life for a reason? Like Gonzo, I don't know how he got involved in these jerk off brothers, but he's in it. He's the leader. He's literally the leader. Walk away from something like that. Right, Nicole?
Of course. Yeah. Tell him to meditate on it. That'll be good.
I don't know what that's going to lead to, but it seems like he's in a bad crowd. I think that's what happens sometimes. You get in a bad crowd and then it leads to other bad things. Okay. But okay, so the beauty standards, I love that. So do you think? So we all look at Instagram and models and like I said, I haven't taken a picture. I was at the Grove yesterday and this woman said, "Oh, I'll take a picture of you in front of this Queen's Gambit promotional thing that they had." And I said, "Oh, okay, great." She took a picture of me. It's the first picture I've seen of myself without a filter in years.
Okay.
Years, okay? And
I'm sure you were beautiful.
Not in that picture. No. And I posted it and then I deleted it. So is that, is this a problem? How much of a problem is this? And how can we say fuck beauty standards?
I mean, I think we have to just be ourselves, unapologetically ourselves, with freckles, with bags, with glasses, with whatever it may be. Just be yourself. We cannot always look at what everybody, you can't compare yourself to people. And that's what I think we are. We always compare ourselves to everybody. And instead of comparing yourself, just look at who you are. Look how beautiful you are. Just really look at yourself and really look how beautiful you are, from your personality to your look.
Well, yeah.
I mean, just everything.
Personality. Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Exactly. You have a great personality. So you just just be who you are. That's basically
I think until recently, I didn't even realize I had a good personality because looks are so focused on.
I get
unbelievably so. I mean, I guess it depends what career you choose. That's actually why I like this kind of being in the financial world, because looks aren't that important. I mean, people do notice them, but they're not the main thing. Mm-hmm. And in these other careers where looks, I mean, you could be destroyed. I mean, at this age, at my age now, I noticed different things are happening to me. Like I was at the pool yesterday and there was a lot of guys there and I didn't get one phone number. And I was thinking, man, if this was 5 years ago, I would have had everybody's number there. Everybody's number. And then last night I went to a club with a bunch of people, and I know my friends, they always do this to me. They always set me up with someone, and they don't tell me that they're doing that. This guy was flirting with the waitress, and not me. So things are changing for me in my life drastically. Yeah. And so that is hard to deal with. I hope there's a chapter in your book about that.
It definitely will be.
Okay, good.
If it's not, I'll make sure it will be.
Yeah, please. That's really important. I think, I mean, that's something that I deal with and I think about. Yeah, people are saying, well, but it is something, it is something.
You're so beautiful. You're beautiful.
Oh, thanks.
Yes, you are. And I'm sure when you have beauty and brains, that's a big thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it should get you somewhere, right? You would think. Okay, so Nicole, how can people contact you? How do they find you online? Are you under Nicole Hawkins, or where are you?
Under Instagram, I am Nicole Y Hawkins. And
okay.
Then, there I do also have a website. It's fckcaregivingthebook.com.
Okay, Nicole Y Hawkins on Instagram. Everybody follow her there. Obviously keep in touch. You want to follow everything she's doing. She's doing interesting things. She's taking things in life that are important.
You got to change the perspective. You have to.
Yes. I hope you change the perspective because it'll be a lot easier for me. Especially that second book. If we don't think looks are that important, that would be great. That would be perfect. Thank you. So thank you for the work that you do. Thank you. Everybody follow Nicole. And I'm going to bring on our next guest, Gene Wilder from Gene Wilder's Vacation. Welcome, Gene Wilder.
Hello, Elisa. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
So nice to have you. So the way I first met you was through Andy. You hired Andy to play. What instrument did he play on your record?
The slide whistle.
The slide whistle. And what inspired you to hire him to do that?
Well,
Why?
I've been a fan of Andy's for many years, and I always noticed that he sometimes he would play the slide whistle on like certain YouTube clips or like on TV or anything. And after I met him, I actually met Andy through Cameo originally.
Oh, you bought a Cameo.
Yep.
That's Andy's bread and butter right there.
Yeah. My friends got me a Cameo with Andy for his birthday, and they told me about my music. So in Andy's Cameo, he said that he loved the music so much he would like to put it in something of his, maybe a next movie or something. So I contacted him about it, like, how can I get you the songs? And that's when he gave me his contact, and then we talked from there. And that's when he told me, hey, just fly out and let's record it over here. So that's when I came down. But what I wanted to tell you about the song, I think you'll find interesting, is when I was last on Kermit and Friends with you guys, one of the statements that Andy said, everybody has a dark side and you have to embrace it. I found that comment that he said on Kermit and Friends so compelling that I actually used that audio clip and put it actually into my song.
Wow. Okay. So he said, everybody has a dark side. You just have to embrace it. He said that here.
Yes.
And you took that audio clip and put it in your song.
Yes.
Brilliant. I love that. Okay.
So Kermit and Friends is actually a part of my art in the song.
Wow. And something I found amazing and just so funny was, you went from hiring Andy to do a cameo to literally sleeping in his bed. So how long did it take from the cameo, from that point, to being cuddly with Andy in a bed that who knows when those sheets were washed? Who knows? Never.
No. Andy is a great cuddler. Andy is a great cuddler.
Not with me.
No, but we had a lot of fun, and we watched Cool Hand Luke. We watched a lot of TV and drank a lot of ice. I think it was ice blue vodka. I think.
Wow, what a good host he is. He's just hoping for the best, I think. Okay, let's play your song. Awesome. What is the name of the single that I'm about to play right now?
It's called "I'm Not Better Than Anyone."
I'm Not Better Than Anyone, featuring Gene Wilder. Here's the new video.
Of your Adderall, smoke to the weed, the topic of your alcohol. Smoke to the weed, the topic of your Lexapro. Smoke to the weed, the topic of your Trazodone. Some people call it living, some people call it devil, some people call it
and Gene Wilder's Vacation. Oh my God, I'm literally hearing ghosts. We hope all of you are donning your beautiful high heels, feeling good, having a grand old time, and having a wonderful life. Everybody has a dark side, and you have to embrace it. You have to embrace it. Everybody has a dark side. 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 Everybody has a dark side.
Wow, I love that song. It's truly amazing. I wonder what Charmin thinks of it. Charmin, what do you think of that song?
I thought it sounded great. I think he's a great artist.
He is. I think he's really good. And it's amazing that, he just really went after something he wanted. Just to have Andy on that song. He flew here. I was so impressed by that.
Was he one of the guys that was here a couple of months ago?
Yep.
Is he the one that you guys went out to and you got the toys and the Gumby thing and all that fun stuff together? Yeah, I tried to piece it all together.
Yeah, that was him. And I met him. He was a great guy, nice guy. I wish he would have stayed because Andy could really use somebody like that.
Right, a good friend. How is Andy doing?
I don't know. I actually don't know. He was calling me for a ride at like 3 a.m. a couple nights ago. So, he's still out all night. And I just had to let him go. And that's just what I did. I don't have the strength to really try with him anymore. I just don't have that. I don't have the motivation. It's weird. Like I lost motivation for him and it was just too hard. So
I don't blame you. I completely understand, but I think he'll be back around the end of next month. So take your rest, get your energy up, be prepared for the next Mercury retrograde. Andy seems to show up right on time.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, he acted up last time just before the retrograde and was chaotic the whole month. Yep. He'll be back at the end of September. Get ready.
All right. I'm not gonna do anything, but so Charmin, I wanted to ask you about your situation. Okay, so I played the clip of you earlier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Mark Connors interview.
Yes. So you were featured on Drunken Peasants, who's a friend of Kermit and Friends.
Mm-hmm. I heard that last night. Yep.
Okay, did you watch it?
I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. I've heard a lot of different things, like people logging into different podcasts with just my picture up and my name up, pretending to be me. It is very interesting what happens with your affiliations here at Kermit and Friends.
Yeah, so Charmin went from, just being on Kermit and Friends, and that was great. And then she's on the wrap-up show with Coach Love. She formed a connection with Coach Love, and now she interviewed a guest that we had on a couple weeks back who I wasn't really familiar with. So
I learned about Mark Connors through here just like everybody else did. When Bob outed him on your show and brought this issue to all of our attention, we all kind of got engaged at the same time.
Yeah, so I never really heard of him. And then he started calling me all day. I thought it was I thought it was like a salesperson. I wasn't sure who it was because it said somewhere in California that it was calling me from, but it was him. And when I saw how many times he was calling me, it was weird. I remember, Bob, I told you about that when it happened, right?
Yeah, I mean, over 20 calls is a lot of calls. She didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
Asking different people, do you know who this is? And since he was, cussing me out,
right,
get rid of him or else kind of stuff. Well, so she calls me and plays the recording of one of the recordings he left. And I mean, a split second, you hear his voice. That's Mark Cruz or Mark Connors. That's not anybody else. He's got one of those voices that's very unique.
Yes. So that guy, he would call me just over and over and over, and I just didn't know why. And then I was fine with him. I enjoyed his participation in Kermit and Friends. I thought it was funny. His participation with Bob and that kind of thing. I thought it was funny. I didn't look too much into it. I was just this is interesting. This is entertaining. And then, okay, so I didn't know.
Not really entertainment. I think of entertainment as something that's fun and that's something that is engaging, not something that is, trashing people's personal careers, their lives, and, outing victims. I don't think that's fun or entertaining. It's
who
curious.
is doing that?
Well, everybody in this community has been passing around a lot of documentation that has the victim's name in it. This young lady was 15 years old when she made this accusation before she recanted. She is almost 30 years old, and she would like to be able to get on with her life without all of us talking about her.
Okay, so I've reached out to
that
her
is correct.
Family, and they just want to be left alone. They don't want nothing.
Are people bothering that woman?
This whole situation is incredibly upsetting for them. This girl who was 15 years old, these girls who were being abused by their father and stepfather, who came to Mark for help, are still friends with this individual. They support Mark. They would like all of this to stop because, frankly, they're tired of it. It was 15 years ago, and she'd like to be able to have some sort of life without constantly dealing with this every second. She regrets this entire situation. Her stepfather is in prison for the rest of his life, not for what he did to her, not for forcing her to make these false statements against Mark, but because, as the government has taught us many times, you don't get to get out of paying your taxes, and you certainly don't get out of paying $130 million in taxes. That man will spend the rest of his life in prison where he belongs. These other people would like to have an opportunity to move forward with their life. And I don't blame them. This was in 2007.
So are people calling her? Because I just got news that her name was blacked out.
Her name is not blocked out. Every link you have sent me, her name pops up in it.
Okay. So
every link that's getting posted to Discord has her name in it. This young lady regrets this entire situation, regrets what she has put Mark through, and would just like it to stop. Okay. Bob and Mark came to an understanding that this has gone on too long and it needs to come to an end. And I hope this weekend is the end of it too.
Oh, okay, I'm just going to call her. Kermit and Friends. Kermit and Friends, how can I help you?
Hi, Alyssa. My name's John Taylor. You don't know me, but I'm one of Mark Cruz's supposed stalkers.
Oh, are you Kelly Taylor's husband?
Yes, yeah, the woman that he slanders and tells lies about, dildo stories,
Dildo stories?
Oh, yeah.
What's a dildo story?
Well, Mark's version is Kelly knew him for 10 years, and we only met him over the internet about 5 or 6 years ago. But when we called him out on his bullshit, he started attacking my wife, saying that she was a groupie for the band. And Charmin, you drank all of this guy's Kool-Aid, and you need to wise up. He's a predator. He's a convicted child rapist, and he's getting restraining orders against him because he's been nonstop harassing me and my wife, people like Harry Brogan, that we're in a community of...
Everybody could make a choice to put an end to this and put a truce to this today.
That was my reason in outing him, as I saw him trying to get around kids. And I found, and then especially what he was doing, he was making all these sick, slanderous allegations towards my wife. And this guy is...
John, were you on Mark's channel? Were you a host on Mark's channel?
Okay, Charmin's asking a question. I'm just curious.
Okay.
I wish I could get you on this stream
John,
right now.
John, were you a host on one of Mark's channels?
Okay, I'm going to ask him that. Just 1 second, Charmin. Okay, so Charmin is asking, I don't know why she's asking this, but Charmin is asking if you were a host on Mark's channel. I don't know why she asked that, but
yes, that's how we initially met.
Okay.
And I was doing a show. I retired from the fire department. I got injured. I found Mark. He was doing this 24-hour show that was supposed to be a news show or current events, and I took a 4-hour shift on that show, dealing with child trafficking because.
Did you guys get any viewers? I'm just curious because right now he has like 7 viewers. This guy.
And back then, we had a few. I went on to do a show on YouTube called The Traffic Report, where we talked about child trafficking issues and had survivors on the show. And I mean, that was, part of, just what I wanted to do after I retired, because I I had to have a few surgeries, and that's the only reason we met this guy. Then we found out that he was doing this questionable fundraising, so we just separated.
What questionable fundraising?
He was. There was this thing he called the Reunite America Tour, that he was supposed to take a band on tour, and he needed donations to put a banner on his bus that he doesn't have. He owns a camper, not a bus.
Okay.
And he was taking money from people, and I didn't want any part of that. I was doing that show, out of my past and wanting to help survivors of child sexual abuse, and I wanted nothing to do with fundraising. So that's how we parted as friends,
Yeah.
And it wasn't until later, because we stayed friends on Facebook and everything, and we came in one night from just being outside and turned on Facebook, and Mark was raging at I don't know if you know who Will Johnson is. He's like a conservative YouTube host, he does a lot of stuff, black guy.
Okay.
And Mark's raging at this video of Will Johnson, and he's also calling him on the phone because I think Will struck his channel because Mark was using his content.
Okay.
And so Will hangs up on Mark, and Mark's screaming live on YouTube and Facebook, "You fucking N-word." And both of us heard.
Oh yeah, I saw that. But I mean, when you're convicted of rape, I mean, the N-word is kind of light, don't you think?
Yeah, but I mean, this was for us. I mean, we didn't know anything about the guy at that time, really. But and what we were concerned for was his girlfriend at that time, and what we ended up doing was messaging her to say, I don't know what happened, but you might want to check on his state of mind, because it seems like he's lost his damn mind. And that started this whole thing up. And then the next thing we knew, he was putting up websites about my wife and that she was a groupie for the band 10 and 15. And he talked about it on your show, Charmin. You let that predator slander and defame my wife, who didn't even know him, met him over the internet.
Well, this is the interesting aspect of it that I find very fascinating. I wish you could come on. Can you come on camera, sir?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna put the link in the chat, because I'd love to get you on here. So it's just right there. Okay, I'm gonna hang up with you, okay? Because this is what I find fascinating.
All right, sure.
Okay, see you in a second. Okay, this guy is fascinating because, okay, so he's saying that Mark guy went after his wife, Kelly Taylor, who I've heard her name a million times.
I know this is such a long story. It's a personal grudge. It has to do with intimacy. And I don't really think it has anything to do with this Crumb case or this child. And quite frankly, how long is this grudge going to go on where these people spend their lives attacking each other on the internet? Could we broker a peace deal? Enough is enough. This isn't benefiting anyone. This nonsense isn't benefiting Kermit and friends. It's not benefiting John or Kelly or Bob or Harry or Mark. It's beneath all of us. Whatever their personal beef is, we can all do better than this.
But the thing is, Charmin, they sought us out. Like that guy Mark called me hundreds of times.
But after he was outed on your show, and quite frankly, I think
before.
I think after years of being stalked by these people, they showed up on your show, and your show's next level, Elisa, right? You have put together a beautiful show, and I don't really think Mark wants this to go any farther than it already has. These people have known each other for a long time. What do we have to do to put this to an end?
Charmin, you really need to bring yourself up to date on who you're dealing with. The guy is a manipulator and a predator. The only reason
there's a lot of manipulators and predators in this community. This community is full of narcissists.
Will you let me finish, please?
Sure.
Well, thank you. The only reason we got involved in this was he attacked and slandered and defamed my wife with disgusting, and I can show it to you if you want.
She sent him some video that he showed to everybody, and it was very intimate, and nobody wants to be involved in it. Bob doesn't
especially
want to
us.
talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. You don't want to talk about it. I'm sure you don't want to talk about your wife sending dirty videos to people.
If you let me talk, and you just seem to be really defensive about this whole situation.
Well, I think this has gone on a long time. When did this video situation between Mark and your wife happen?
It didn't happen.
When were you a host on his show?
That was about 6 years ago.
Okay.
7 years, maybe. Because we approached his girlfriend with concerns about his mental health after we saw him, going crazy on YouTube and Facebook Live. I've got animals here, so they're making noises. You might hear them. I'm trying to get. Okay, guys, hold on. That's my hound dog. Hold on.
Huh.
I knew he was going to start that.
Is he okay? Is the dog okay? Is he making a really painful noise?
That's what he does. That's what he does. He wears his voice out.
I've frozen. I can't hear him.
We have such a bad connection.
I've frozen. I can't.
One second. Let me just see how John Taylor's. John, are you okay? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Continue.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Well, in attempting to, we liked Jennifer at that time, and we had nothing to think bad about her, and we were advising her that Mark may have some mental problems with what he's doing. It was the craziest thing we'd ever seen, and then almost immediately after that, he starts making these comments and these web pages and Facebook pages about my wife, calling him at 3 a.m. on Skype and masturbating. Okay. And
is there any truth to that? Because as I understand it, there's a lot of people who saw the video.
No, that's bullshit, Charmin. Okay.
Is there a video? Do we have it recorded? Skype records things.
Well,
I don't want to see the video. I've heard the details. I'm not interested.
You seem like you're a little angry, Charmin, and I think you should calm down a little bit. I can tell you and see what Mark does when he tells his
classic
lies.
Narcissistic gaslighting technique.
When that's what I'm doing?
Exceptional.
So I'm a gaslighter and a narcissist. Okay, I'm trying to tell you the truth, and you don't want to hear it, but that's so you don't have to listen. I'll talk.
No, I mean everybody has their own series. Every story.
Are you claiming
three sides
that my wife actually did this?
I don't know what happened with your wife.
Because you should be really careful with that.
I think it is incredibly strange, the relationship you all have. I think it is incredibly strange that as an employee of his network, this conversation with your wife, were you working on his show? Did you take a 4-hour? Okay, you were still working together for him on his channel. I find it
what does that have to do with anything?
Unprofessional and inappropriate
I think you're deluded.
This conversation with your wife is even a topic. Why would your wife even be calling this man at 3 a.m?
Didn't.
Where is the documentation?
Charmin, if you let me finish, and you seem like you're getting a little bit excited, okay?
I think we're all a little excited about this.
Yeah, when somebody slanders and your loved one, especially your wife, it tends to it might get you a little excited.
Right. Mark's had his wife be threatened with gang rape and physical assault, and people come after him.
Not by me.
This you guys are like your own little gang. You're like your little ring of networks where you pass off to each other left and right and harass each other. And it seems to be really common in the YouTube community
you seem like
with
you
the
won't let other people
narcissist.
talk, Charmin.
It's very common in this YouTube community with the narcissists, and they're flying monkeys.
We're not talking
where
about
they
the
send
YouTube
people
community.
after
We're
you.
talking
this
about
is part of the YouTube community.
Alyssa,
you guys, everything you're doing is on YouTube, and all of these beefs with doxing each other and harassing each other and stalking each other for years. At what point in time is it all going to be enough? You guys all have so much information on each other. This is the most intense addiction
your whole take
people
on
I've
this
ever
incident
seen.
Is wrong. Your whole take on this incident is wrong. And am I allowed to speak now, Charmin?
Sure, John.
Thank you so much.
1 second.
Mm-hmm.
So when Mark tells his lies, what he doesn't know is the truth, okay? And my wife has never been up past midnight in 10 years that I've been married. Okay, so Mark, right off the bat, Mark was saying that she was calling him at 3 a.m. So we're like, really?
Wow.
and you know, Kelly, she's
so what do we have to do to put an end to this? Whatever, everybody's got their own side.
Hold on, I'm gonna call John. Let me just take this call. Oh shoot. Okay. Oh, here he is. Okay, Kermit and Friends. How can I help you?
Hey, Lisa, it's Chad.
Hey, Chad.
Hey, I'm really confused. The other day, I was listening to Charmin's deep dive or whatever into Mark Connors, and she talked about him like she knew what was going on, saying that he was like acquitted and all the charges were dropped or whatever. But then, like 10 minutes later, she finally asked him if he was a felon, and he said yes.
I played that clip. He said he was Yeah. I had it.
Yeah.
I don't think Charmin's really researched anything.
Well, I sent her the paperwork. I sent her the video from the Nashville News, Channel 4. I sent her everything that she would need, and she drew a conclusion based on that. And I think, I don't know.
Conclusion.
Well, Chad, I think, is a lawyer, right, Chad?
Yeah.
Now she's saying that she spoke to the victim and the victim recanted.
She didn't.
Like Charmin talked to the victim.
You talked to the victim's family, Charmin? Did you?
No, I have not talked to the victim's family.
Then why
I have heard that from Mark. That is my understanding from Mark.
I'm confused.
What do we need to do to
Chad.
put this to an end?
We're gonna
No, this
address
has been going
a lie
on
that
long
you just
enough.
told.
This has
Let's-
been.
let's-
No, I
let's-
haven't
let's-
told a lie.
You just did. You were
no.
saying that the victim's family doesn't
Has
want any more of that.
recanted.
You said
No,
the
and that
victim
is
has
the information that I am getting from Mark. That the
Well,
victims
then you're
don't
an
want this
idiot.
to go on anymore. Your insults are appreciated.
You are taking.
You're an incredibly
you are-
intelligent
you
and
are
thoughtful
taking
person.
the word of a
What is
convicted felon.
necessary in order for this to be put to bed? He has
Mark,
this,
you know what's
whatever
necessary,
his situation is
you know what's
separate
necessary,
from you
Charmin?
guys.
You know what's necessary, and it's in the works right now.
Mhm.
Legal, criminal action, and Mark is going to put himself right back in jail, where he was briefly, and he lucked out on that plea bargain because the victim did not want to testify after going through the grand jury process. Okay. And if you get that indictment and you read it and you imagine what it took for a 15-year-old girl to go into a grand jury in front of a judge and a whole jury box full of people that she didn't know at 15 years old and recant the fact that Mark Connors 4 times digitally penetrated her, excuse me for having to say that, and
Digitally?
performed
Like on the internet?
and performed oral sex on this little girl. Read the indictments. They're part of the public record.
Charmin, did you read that part?
That is definitely not part of the public record that you
Yes,
sent
it
me.
is. The
That is
indictment-
not part of the public
I
record
can
that you
send it
sent
to
me,
you.
Elisa.
Well,
Okay,
no,
all right. Let's get the
This was
public
in
record.
2007. What is necessary for
that's
this
okay.
30-year-old woman to have this put to bed? Well, why does this have to be a topic of conversation
gonna
on this show 15 years
he
later?
continues to harass the people that have exposed him. Harry Brogan being one, my wife and I being 2 more. He was harassing Bob. He showed up at Bob's house. This guy is a nut. And the
So
fact
what
that
is necessary to put
what's
this
necessary,
to bed?
and it's in the works, is criminal charges. Okay.
What criminal charges?
He's got restraining orders coming. There's an investigation by the Commonwealth Attorney in Virginia. You know what? Mark called a local business where we live in Duffield, Virginia, and told them that my wife and myself were pedophiles. He recorded the phone call and he posted it on YouTube. That's how stupid and sick this guy is.
I know
Okay?
this is the craziest thing I have ever seen.
I'll bet.
Right, the way that this group of people follows each other and stalks each other across
There's
multiple
only one
state
stalker.
lines.
There's only one stalker. Mark
This
Connors.
there's a whole bunch of different things that are going
Charmin,
on here. What
Charmin,
is
now,
necessary to take
I
this
just
out
told- I
of
just
this
told
show?
you.
Because this
Charmin, why do you care though? I'm just curious why you care. Is that your friend?
honestly, no, honestly, I mean, I've been falsely accused. Right.
Charmin,
and I know I have a situation with a stalker who's just waiting to jump out and make accusations against me at any point in time. Right. I see this from a very different angle. What is necessary, especially for the protection of this victim who is no longer a child and has her own life, for this not to be the topic of conversation on a half a dozen different YouTube channels every day of the week. This girl was 15 years old. At what point in time does she get to move forward? You guys all seem to care so much about this young lady.
Maybe when people like you don't make false statements about her recanting, and that her family just wants this over with and wants to be buddy with the guy.
Coming forward. Her family wants privacy. Her family's not chasing
what we hope they get
around. Then why is this continuing to come up?
Why are you putting out the words of the man? Why are you telling Mark Cruz's story for him? That is all bullshit.
He's not here. You guys ask my opinion. You get my opinion.
No, you just told me this is what Mark told me, and you're coming on the air live and saying that the victim recanted. That did not happen.
That's my understanding.
You're wrong,
my understanding.
and you're taking the word of a convicted pedophile.
Are you going to be able to get her on here to complain about him?
No, absolutely not. No,
because she would like to put this to an end. She would like to move forward. She's almost 30 years old now.
I'm hoping that
2007.
She has moved on.
I don't think she can with this taking place every day.
Come
on. If you guys truly care.
I'm sorry,
about
guys. It's Kelly Taylor. It's Kelly Taylor. Everybody calm down. All right, Kelly Taylor. Yes, Kermit and Friends.
Yeah, I was going to email you. In fact, I still might, to give you my take on just what a scumbag this guy is, and maybe a little different timeline. When John was helping Mark with his Free America show, he took it seriously. He did 4 hours in the middle of the night for Mark and stayed up all night and did this show and had followers. And he enjoyed talking about what he believed in, which was child sexual abuse. So after a while, John's got a back injury and he really couldn't sit up and do the show, but we stayed in contact with Mark. And we kept watching because he was on Facebook 5 and 6 times a day, going live, helping homeless veterans, taking money for homeless veterans, and, just these, and he kept telling these crazy stories, and I kept seeing right through them. It's like, but you just said this.
Me too.
So, around the 4th of July, and he said he was in Desert Storm, and he has PTSD, and he has all these war stories.
Okay.
So on the 4th of July, he's sitting at his house in Gallatin, Tennessee, which he claimed was his recording studio, but it was just a house. And there was people lighting off firecrackers outside. It's like 11 at night. And he's sitting in the dark, and every time a firecracker would go off, he'd cry and wince, and this whole big production. And then Jennifer comes back on later crying, saying, "Oh, poor Mark, he's got PTSD." And I feel so, that was all a bunch of horse shit. So then Hurricane Harvey hit. And he's trying to raise money to drive his, quote, tour bus to Houston with supplies, rather than take their pickup truck and a trailer and bring stuff. So he's tried to raise money for 2 or 3 weeks, ended up not going, and we just kept saying, this guy is a scam. He's a sham, and we called
That was obvious to me. He lied so much about so many things. You can't just lie. People can Google things, and they can see things about you. Like you're lying about, he lied about where he lives. He lied about a restaurant. He lied about the stupid restaurant in Beverly Hills. I don't know why the hell he lied about that. Just everything.
He got so pissed off that John and I and Harry were busting him for being a grifter, him and Jennifer.
Grifter. I call him a Kermit and Friends grifter right now.
Yeah, he is. So he came out with all of a sudden these wild sex stories about me, that I used to follow his tour bus from town to town and masturbate in front of his whole band.
That didn't happen, did it, Kelly?
No, I didn't even know him 10 or 15 years ago. I was with my husband. And we're in Florida. He's over on the west part of the country. So then he made one show one night real late. These disgusting, perverted stories about me and his bandmates and how I screwed everybody and all this stuff. And it was so horrible that Mark's ex-business partner told us Mark's real last name.
Oh, everybody knows his last name, Kelly. It's on all the legal documents.
We didn't know it was Cruz. We didn't know about Mark Cruz.
Oh, okay.
We knew about Mark Connors.
Oh, yeah. If you Google, so here's the funny thing. Like, so I, been in entertainment for a while. Like, if you Google somebody's name and they're not the first person that comes up, like, odds are they're not that like successful. So if you Google Mark Connors, like a doctor comes up. And then if you Google Mark Cruz, like all the legal documents come up. So that's obvious that that's what he's known for. If you Google, if you Google Taylor Swift comes up first with all her country music, right? But if you Google Mark Connors, like a doctor or like a dentist comes up. So that was the first lie. It's so obvious. Yeah. If somebody lies, I know this from dating, Kelly. I've dated for so many years now. If a guy lies to you on the first date, he's lying about everything from that point on. So I don't know how. And like, it's crazy to me that Charmin, she's so smart. She ran for president. And this guy is like taking her for a ride right now. He's taking her for a freaking ride, and I'm letting it go under my watch, unfortunately. Yeah,
peace and love, Charmin.
It's crazy.
And the reason it's gone on is because once we learned his real name, Mark Cruz, you couldn't find Mark Cruz his record in 2017 when we learned his real name.
Yeah,
we had to pay for it. We had to dig for it, and we found it. And once we did that, he has been coming after us for 4 years now, trying to say that I'm a pedophile, John's a pedophile. My daughter works for the fire department. He's trying to dox her. All calling businesses here saying that we're pedophiles. Called a vet and said that we killed our dog.
So I have a theory. Okay, so this is my theory. My theory is this. That, okay, in the paperwork or whatever I read, I saw so much about this. It's like crazy at this point. I'm so confused. But something I do know is that he was offering that 15-year-old girl like professional help or like something with her music career. Yes. So I think Charmin here, he offered her and Erica a show. Charmin, right? Wait, let me talk to Charmin about this, Kelly. Call me back, okay? Okay, that's Kelly. Okay, so see what Kelly's saying? Charmin, everybody can see it. Why?
Everybody sees something different. We all see something different based off our experiences, right?
Okay.
Right. I have my own set of experience as a survivor of childhood sexual abuse. I have my own set of experiences based off being accused of something, right? We all have our own series of experiences. And part of what I'm trying to do here is try to find a way for people to get along. I was excited when Mark and Bob found a way to pray together after this, when they found a way on the show last Friday night to put their argument to bed and try to move forward. I'd like to find a way to broker a peace deal with these people. This is exhausting. This isn't healthy. This isn't benefiting anybody. And at the heart of this, there's still a young girl that is caught in the middle of this 15 years later. And I personally can't imagine how painful this must be to watch this play out with all these strangers fighting over this, bringing this up every second of the day. It's just exhausting.
So what are
I've got no money out of this. This
but
takes up way too much of my
happening.
time.
Something is happening.
Mark has asked me to interview him and his wife and try to help tell their story. His wife would like to have a show again, a podcast again. And they've asked me if I would be interested in participating. I would be, but I'm concerned about my own issues. I'm concerned about what happens when I come forward with my own people coming out, stalking me, harassing me, making false accusations against my own problems, right? I would like to see if there is a way to put this chaos and drama to bed to move forward in a positive, healthy manner. I've been here in this show since February stating I want an investigation into my life because I didn't like being falsely accused of things that I didn't do. And I like the fact that Mark keeps saying, investigate me, right? So whatever the investigations are that come from this, bring it on.
So right? You want an investigation?
I want an investigation from the Department of Justice. Do you not remember that?
About you?
Yes.
Why do you want that?
Do you not remember that whole episode where I shared my story and how complicated it is and I want an investigation? Trumpster Bob's been promising us for months that the FBI is here watching, the police are here watching, and I stay because I want an investigation into my situation because I don't think there's any way for me to be able to move forward in my life and my career with people like this waiting to attack me in everything I do. I see this from a completely different perspective. And I would like to see if there is a possibility to broker a peace to put this to end, because I think this is the most unhealthy, irresponsible, dangerous thing I have ever seen. I feel horrible for this victim. And I would like to see if there is any way that we can get all these people to move forward in a different way. This isn't good. This isn't something anybody would truly want to have involved in their life. And I can see this pain from everybody's perspective. What can we do to put a resolution to it and put it to bed?
Okay, Sharma, I'm just getting a call. Hopefully this is the FBI. Kermit and Friends.
Hey, it's Kelly again. I wanted to address something that Sharman just said. She is believing everything that Mark says.
I know.
She doesn't know anything about this. She's moved on with her life and has kids. She's not being tormented by any of this. She buys everything that lunatic says.
Why though? I don't know why. I don't understand it. I love Sharman. Sharman's the best. I still love Sharman, but it's crazy. The guy is so obvious. It's so obvious to me. But I guess maybe, I don't know, to her, he talked to her behind the scenes. He said something. He did something. Yeah, she believed him. Yeah.
He's going to get her a show.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. I've worked for some pretty big assholes, but never like this.
And he doesn't work. He lives off, Jennifer's not his wife. Okay, she has a trust.
She has a trust?
She has a trust that buys that house and supports Mark. They can't get married because she'll lose the trust money. Mark doesn't have a dime to his name. He doesn't have 3 houses. It's all bullshit.
No one thought that. By the way, no one thought that. Maybe Sharman thought it.
And he's not a big producer. And
you wouldn't. You guys, come on, please. Like, it's so frustrating, but I'm just going to let people think whatever they want. We're just going to relax now. We're going to, have you ever heard of Wappy? The musician Wappy. We have a very good musician coming on right now, Kelly.
Okay.
So I hope you enjoy that. And thank you so much. You're amazing. You're really cool. All right. Thank you. All right. Wow. Kelly Taylor, which is the name of my favorite character from 90210, Kelly Taylor. Everybody enjoy WAP.
Our love is like water, pinned down in abuse for being strange. Our love is no other than me alone, for me all day. Our love is like water, pinned down in abuse. Hey, all over you, all over me. The sun, the field, the sky. I've often tried to hold the sea, the sun, the field, the tide. Lay me now, lay me down. Oh, our love is like water, been down in abuse for being strange. Our love is no other than me alone, for me all day. Our love is like water, pinned down in abuse. Hey, all over you, all over me. The sun, the field, the sky. I've often tried to hold the sea, the sun, the fields, the tide. Pay me now, lay me down. Oh, our love is like water, pinned down in abuse for being strange.
That's one of my favorite songs. My favorite songs. Thank you for playing that. Hud Isaacson is here. Hud Isaacson, any thoughts on what the hell is going on?
I just wanted to say, my bad, I'm late. It took me about an hour and a half to adjust my underwear and put my socks on. And
Hey, don't flash us, okay? Because Don't flash us because I really want to keep the show up just for like the FBI.
Anyways, I have another thing. Oh, go ahead, Elisa. I'm sorry.
No, I want to know what your thoughts are. Have you been listening to Charmin and
have.
John? I love this guy, Kelly. I love John and Kelly Taylor. They're great additions to Kermit and Friends, I think.
So
excited.
Charmin, I agree with her.
You
There are
do?
a lot of innocent people. There are a lot of innocent people in prison convicted of stuff they did not, that they're innocent for.
Okay.
And there's a lot of innocent people sitting in prison, especially in their late teens, you know, that when they are interrogated by police for hours and hours and hours, and then they finally feel like that they should admit to what they're being accused of. Okay, and then they go, and then that's it. They're in prison for the rest of their life because they think the only way for the cops to stop interrogating them is if they admit to it. And then they get in prison for the rest of their life. It's not
okay.
good.
Is this somebody you know that happened to, or is it you?
Okay. Well, so there are people there. Okay, that whoever. I mean, what are you guys talking about? Mark Connors? Yes, I laid it down real sticky on him and had him make it extra sloppy when he called you the B word last time. But I'm defending him because I don't know if he's innocent or guilty. But all it takes is for a young girl to say something that is not true.
But he pled guilty, Jared. He pled guilty, Hud.
Okay, was he convicted though?
I think so. When you plead guilty,
you guys need to be sure if you're accusing him.
Okay, we're gonna find out. That's a good question. I'm gonna find out from John Taylor. I'm gonna ask John Taylor.
Also, I had a similar situation when I was 20 years old. Somebody accused me of something terrible, and I was found innocent. My attorneys called my attorneys. I spent a year in a psych ward after spending 15 days in Cuyahoga County Jail with heartless felons and murderers, rapists, armed robbers, kidnappers. A suburban 20-year-old white kid in an open pod. There are only two. Now listen to this. Because Kelly, have you ever been to Cuyahoga County Jail? It's not for a suburban white person. Anyways, so
who was that?
It was my girlfriend Kelly. So listen. So my attorney. I spent a year in a psych ward after that. My attorney calls my dad and says, Larry Zuckerman calls my dad and says, Arnold, we won. We beat the case. Jared was found innocent. We proved his innocence. He can go up to the Justice Center tomorrow and get his ankle monitor pried off his leg. It felt like a weight was lifted off my shoulders. I start sobbing. It was not good. I thought about killing myself. With picking up a gun, doing it really quick because I did not want to spend the rest of my life in a maximum security prison. I would rather be dead.
Right.
And I'm so thankful for you and Andy and Mickey Gooch Jr., the off-brand dollar store version of Jack Black, because it just feels like I've been having this bizarre feeling as though I'm already dead, like I died and went to heaven because my life has changed so drastically. I have to look in the mirror and slap myself or pinch myself to realize it's not a dream, that I'm not dreaming. I'm so forever grateful for you all, and I love you guys unconditionally.
We love you.
Fuck you.
Sig, what was that?
What?
What was that?
What are you talking about?
You just said fuck you to Hud Isaacson.
Oh no, I was talking about something else.
Oh,
God, that's so weird. No,
It's okay. I'm done arguing for right now. I'm exhausted from last.
I know you're listening.
I understand, Hud. It's okay. Just relax, Hud. Okay, so Sigmond, we were supposed to have a really big guest concerning you today.
Yeah, who's that? What?
A girl named Sion.
No,
okay?
it's Sean. I know it looks like it's Sian, but it's pronounced Sean Michelle, and she's just an amazing person for what she's done. She speaks French, Spanish, and English. And she spent a whole month in Spain on a vacation, and she's late coming back to face her real world, which is moving back in with her dad and stepmom at 19. That's typically not, usually that's when you leave your parents for 4 years. So she's got her band called The Pumps all up and running. Alexa Ray, the drummer, she does frequent Instagram live chats. And so I was watching the other day, and what she said last month is that Sean Michelle would be back at the end of the month, which meant July. And then the other day she said, oh, she's still in Spain. I don't think she wants to move back in with her parents.
Okay, so Sean Michelle is somebody that you have a crush on. Is that right?
Well, that's interesting. It could develop into that, but basically it's a business. In fact, that's the most important part of any developing relationship is if you can justify it, rationalize it, or just plain do business. In other words, she's a singer, and I, as you know, I'm becoming a better singer all the time. And I can see the two of us doing a duet and getting on American Idol or Top 40. In fact, what I wrote to her within weeks of first meeting her in April is I said that I want to write and record a top 10 hit with you. And that all sounded really nice. I mean, it is nice. But you saw the deterioration of what happened on the July 18th show, this character that you have on your show that either wrote that letter or pretended to, and then got a real response or a fake response about how she's so uncomfortable with me. Yeah, right. For going to her birthday party, which I arranged. Yeah, right. I'm the bad guy. Not. So jump in.
Well, I mean, I was just really sad that we booked this wonderful guest that you wanted me, because I'm an ordained minister, you wanted me to marry you and her.
Oh,
and
okay. That's what you're getting at. Yeah.
Well, she flaked on the show, and I thought that was weird.
Flake on the show. She never even responded, as far as I know. Leaf said he hasn't gotten a first response.
He said, I heard that she said yes, and then she said no. Hold on one second. Kermit and Friends, how can I help you? Kermit and Friends.
Hey, Elisa, it's Chad.
Hey, Chad.
Hey, I see Kleenex is in chat right now, and I just wanted to give you an update on him.
Oh, yeah. How's he doing?
So, you know how he was supposed to meet Emilio like last week for dinner?
Yeah, Captain Muttley.
Yeah, Captain Muttley. Captain Muttley revealed this. You're going to find this crazy. Kleenex told Captain Muttley that he wanted to meet him in New York City, and he told him that he has your old address from your old apartment. And Kleenex wanted to go stalk and see your old apartments where you used to live in New York City. How fucking crazy is that?
Yeah, that's kind of weird. Chad, what are your thoughts on like John and Kelly Taylor? Pretty cool, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That whole thing is fascinating.
I love it. And I love that Charmin's involved in it. It's so weird. It's like couldn't be any more weird. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Charmin has the hots for Mark. I think
that's what I mean. It's got to be that. It's got to be that, because only having the hots for somebody would blind you so much. Like I'm not usually blinded unless I want to like screw someone. You know, when you want to screw someone, then you get blinded, and they could be like, they could be a convicted felon, and you just don't.
Yeah, and I'm a big Charmin fan. So
I love Charmin. I'm more than ever a big Charmin fan. I'm number one Charmin fan right now. Like,
I just think she's kind of been hoodwinked. But last thing on Kleenex, he bought a Marine hat, and he's been walking around Washington, D.C. Doing stolen valor again, telling everyone he's a Marine vet.
I love it.
Kleenex is up to his old tricks.
Yeah,
love you, Lisa.
I love you, Chad. That's Chad. Wow, what a great guy, Chad. Love that guy. So Sigmond, what is that? Oh, I saw that. What is that? Right.
Yeah, that's the movie. Well, that's what it says. I can sort of read through it for y'all. I just wrote that up last night. I'm always making up these kind of lists, and I do them in color then. Like after I write it out in ballpoint, I add colors to it. And you asked me about this engagement. So what this is based on is a movie that would star Sean, Michelle, and me, or Sean and Siggy, I just call it. I mean, that's not the name of the movie. It's called Magnolia Boulevard, which is where we met when she was doing the demonstration with the bullhorn. I mean, talk about a grown-up, a person. Of course, she's been on stage as a lead singer of a band and so on. But when you take political action, and we can't mention what side she's on because that's instant death for all enters.
Sigmond, I do want to talk about this. Just hold on 1 second. I'm very concerned that I'm the mom in that movie. Your mom. Just 1 second. Kermit and Friends.
Yeah, this is Kleenex. I'm in Virginia. First of all, Chad's a lying sack of shit. I told Emilio that I was in Clinton, New Jersey, that I'd been dropped back off, and I'd already made arrangements to go to Atlantic City. We talked in private. I said I really wanted to see him. I would try to do it. I could not cancel my reservations in Atlantic City. Also, number two, I went to Arlington Cemetery because it's fascinating to see that stuff. And as far as Chad's completely full of shit, he's back to his old crap. He's a faceless fucking troll. We know for a fact he's in a wheelchair. He's homebound. He's much older than he says he is. And now he's scared because he's going to be fucking doxxed by somebody. Not me. Don't care. Chad, you're a piece of shit. You've always been a piece of shit. You're so jealous that I'm traveling around the country. And as far as me wanting to meet you, that was basically, I'm going to be in Beverly Hills. But I also know that you're never going to do it, even though you said it a million times. I would love to have a drink with you. Okay, first of all, I'm having a good time. I'm not meeting any more people in this community. Emilio is a big regret. He's probably somebody that I did want to meet with and did have dinner if I could have canceled my Atlantic City. But also, I told him that about your place as a joke because I knew he would tell somebody. All I told him is I wanted to go to Dakota, where John Lennon used to live in Yoko, and then the Imagine in the park. And then I said, and I think Elisa used to live near there, so I'm going to probably go by and take a picture of her apartment. First of all, I don't know where you live in New York. I did that as a test. Emilio fails. He's a troll. I'm not so regretful for not meeting him. So there's that. And Chad, suck my fucking dick. If I didn't have laryngitis, I would really have something to say. You understand what I'm saying?
Are you still in town next week? Because I'm starting a new job next week, and I kind of do want to be killed. So, are you going to be around?
No, I'm not going to play your game. Okay, I don't think it'd be wise for me to meet you. I think it'd be about as stupid as to meet Ava. I think you're high strung and you actually believe a lot of your own fears. I would never want to make you uncomfortable. I wouldn't meet you unless there was like a group of people. And you said, "Yeah, I want to meet these people." Kind of like when Crystal and Danny from LA. And Brian from New Jersey. I'd like to be a part of that, but that's not something that you do anymore. And like I said, you've been trolled so much about me. Like you said, I'm wishy-washy. I'm not wishy-washy, Lisa. I've always known one thing. You're neurotic. You change your moods like you change your socks or your underwear. You've always got fear factor going on. And I don't want to cause anybody fear. As far as that Lexi stupid brush, she doesn't know a damn thing about me. She doesn't know the history.
Lexi Terrestrial?
The woman with the mask on, Lexi, whatever.
Oh, yeah, I love her. Yeah.
I don't. I think she's a dingbat. She's no talent cunt. But my point is, I'm not your fan. I'm not a fan of your music. I never thought your music was any good. I didn't think anything that you've done musically is good. So I'm not a fan. And I'm offended that you think I'm a fan. I'm tired that you think everybody's your fan. Some people just watch you because they enjoy the show. And you know what? I'm going to tell you something. When you left, I held this community together for 2 years on rap. We didn't miss you. We still conducted our little get-togethers. We didn't have you around.
All right, Chris, one final question. Mark Connors, guilty or innocent?
Of course he's guilty. He's a fucking pedophile.
All right. Talk to you later. Bye. Okay, Sigmond. Okay, so Sigmond, this movie, or what is this? This is a movie, and I'm your mother in the movie?
Yeah, I was just going to get back to that part. Well, you're like the mom on the show. I thought about this last night, how to say this, but you're like the mom on this show, like a den mother to Cub Scouts or a fraternity mother, which that's kind of a wild story, but you are like the mom on this show, the Mary Tyler Moore, the nice kind of innocent, what's that called, naive lady. Anyway, so as a mom figure, I decided that you could play my mom. And as well as that would be that Leaf King will be the minister. He's also the producer. We're both going to produce this movie with help. I know a guy named Eric in Channel Islands. I know people that are business type and even detective type people. I mean, it's about raising money to coordinate this movie. I'm good at putting all this stuff together. So, yeah, it's called Magnolia Boulevard because, so Sean Michelle being a seasoned rock singer, when I met her on April 3rd, it was where she was in her blue jeans and with a bullhorn, it's an electric microphone. And she was doing all this pro rally, this for those Tin Horn Flats is a whole nother story. It's a bar that stayed open during the whole pandemic. When I found out about it in mid-December, I started going there like 2 times a week. And there's a fence around now. They're taking away their lease. They arrested the guy, Lucas Lepesian, the 20-year-old Armenian owner. And his dad probably put up the money, but Lucas is the one who on-site owner, and they arrested this poor 20-year-old 3 days in a row just to stay.
All right, just make sure you put T-Bob in the movie, okay? Right, Bob?
How's it going? Yeah, that would be great. I think you're better off with an Alien versus Earth Bigfoot movie. Alien Bigfoot versus Earth Bigfoot.
Hey, Bob.
How you doing, John?
I'm doing, man. One day at a time.
Yeah. There's a lot more to this Mark Cruz story that y'all are even hearing. We could take, and I'm not going to get into all of that. Really, I don't think there's enough time in this show.
Really?
We could go back and talk about how Mark Cruz got his microphone and how I know about that. There's a lot of things that we could talk about on both sides of the aisle here or in many different directions. But I think Charmin is right. I think people need to put this to an end, especially on the freaking internet and stalking Mark 24/7, because there are a lot of other people affected by this.
But wait, you're saying stalking this guy? He's the one that showed up at your house. I don't understand. Is everybody insane here?
By the way, Bob, congratulations on doing the right thing and knocking him out.
Yeah, I knew you would enjoy that one.
Yeah, I almost did that in the courtroom with him.
Well, you got to understand there's a lot more to it than just Mark showing up at my house. There's a lot more to the stories here, and there's more than one story, by the way. I have, unlike Charmin, spoken to one of those family members over there, and they explicitly told me, please do not contact us no more. We want nothing to do with Mark Cruz or anything surrounding that part of the past.
Really? Why would they?
I don't know. I only talked to them that one communication sector there, and they just don't.
And we've never attempted to contact them. Any information that we shared had the victim's name blacked out in it. I mean, I'm a survivor myself.
Yeah,
I know.
See, here's where it's just another example of it getting out of control. There are a lot of other people out there in the world, and now that this has reached a show like Kermit and Friends, of course, now it's escalated all over again. So you have a lot of young, irresponsible people who also go and look up these court documents.
Right.
You know, at one time I had the full court document readout. That's where everybody has a say-so on everything. I accidentally deleted that. You can get it in the Nashville County Courts for $20. $20.
Nobody's paying that, Bob. You know what? I think people just know. You know, I think John just came on here today because he's upset probably after he saw. Actually, how did you even find all this?
Well, we keep track of him because he continues to attack us, and we have legal things that I really can't talk about that are in the works right now, and that's the only way Mark's going to stop, when he's legally stopped. And I know Harry Brogan has just been granted a restraining order. There may or may not be more in the works. I know Mark's had the sheriff's department in his driveway, and if I were him, I would cease and desist what he's doing. We've told him this for a long time, but he won't. You know, this whole predator persona, and I think that's what. And I hope Charmin takes a breath, reviews the information, and makes a better decision than she's making right now, which is to recount the words of a convicted felon who's he admitted that on your show, Charmin. I mean,
so he's done his time. He's paid his crime. At what point do we work towards resolution to put this to an end?
Well, for us, when he stops calling local businesses where we live and telling them we're pedophiles, that would stop. When that stops,
is it possible for each of you to cease and desist consistently, and all of you to stop communicating with each other?
I don't know if
I'll talk to him.
It's about to be mandated by the court. It's already mandated.
I think that would be great. Does that mean we stop talking about it on the internet too? Does that mean that this victim gets a chance to move forward with her life? What do we do to try to create some sort of resolution where people can put this fight down, right? This is a big beef that's been going on for a long time. What do we do to put the battle down and move forward?
You would have to ask Mark that question, because as long as
I'll work with Mark. Right now, I'm
Charmin,
talking to you.
Listen to me. As long as he continues to slander my wife and call us pedophiles to local businesses in our area, we have to respond to that.
Right. So we want him to stop talking about you. We want you to stop talking about him. We want the internet articles to stop. what else do we need to do, right? We're adults here. What do we need to do to bring this to some sort of resolution? This isn't good for any of our health. This is stressful. It impacts all the survivors who watch this too.
I agree.
And I often talk every week that we can't have conflict resolution without conflict. And we have a huge conflict right now.
Yeah.
How do we work together to create conflict resolution?
Sherman, that wouldn't be good for the show. So just hold on 1 second. Just 1 second. Kermit and friends.
Hey, Alicia, it's Kelly again. One of the biggest reasons that we keep an eye on Mark Cruz is because he continues to put himself near children. He opened a karate studio with just teaching children. I mean, come on. And he when he was out on parole for his probation for his rape arrest, he continued to tour the area and visit troubled teens and be around kids. That's the problem.
He's not legally prevented from doing that. There's no legal prevention from that.
That doesn't mean it's right, Sean.
Wow. He really does like kids, this guy, right?
I mean, if you just pled guilty to a felony involving
Thank you, Kelly.
I can if you're interested in it, it was horrible. They were horrible for me to read those indictments, and thinking what it took a 15-year-old to recant that in open court makes me sick to this day. But
victims are dealing with this every day. And so we have an opportunity here with a big topic to find a way to move forward, right? I don't like the way the justice system is set up personally, but we have what we have, right? He has been tried in a court, right? The rules have been set out, right? We're spending the next decade trying this in the court of public opinion. Meanwhile, your life is getting caught up in it, right? You weren't even involved in this, right? But this is something that you've glomped onto and continue. This thing has blown up so far. How do we find a way to put it to bed?
Onto anything. I was attacked and I defended myself, which is what you're supposed to do.
All right. So, and Mark feels like he's being attacked and he's defending himself too. Everybody's attacking each other and defending each other. What do we do to create resolution to end this beef so that we can move forward, right? Bob and Mark are working on it. What do we have to do to try to find a way to move forward? I know Lisa doesn't want this to end because it's entertaining.
I can tell you. Well, Sherman, you asked a question. Let me answer it. What we have to do, and we're already in the process of doing, is having the legal system deal with Mark, and that because he's not going to stop. And if you think about it, what really bothered me about most of this is he used that charm that he has. And I think he charmed you.
Definitely.
He charmed the other lady on your show.
Coach Love.
He's charmed guys that I've heard guys.
He charmed Bob. John, he charmed Bob.
I don't think he charmed Bob. I think these two grown men showed up and threw down fisticuffs and both decided this has gone long enough and it was time to put it to an end. I don't think Mark charmed Bob.
I don't agree with that either. I don't think.
I don't think Bob is charmable. Just call it a hunt.
Bob's been silenced. Look at him. He even has good lighting today. He's silenced. Look at him.
I think Bob's heart is in this. I think God's hands are on it, and I think there is an opportunity to learn and grow from this.
Yeah. Well, if Mark quits, if Mark quits breaking the law, he can.
John, can somebody else talk, John?
Sure. Go ahead.
You're in Sharmy's show all day long. Seriously, dude. Come on. Look, y'all are quick. I know everybody has a lot to say. I have so much I could say on here that will never be said on this show. But I'll put it to you this way: at some point, you have to give it to God. And in the Bible, God says many times in the Bible that he will forgive you endlessly. Now, I'm not saying forgive Mark 100% on everything. As humans, it's practically impossible. But it is time to move on. And I think what John and Kelly and several other people are not understanding is that this continuous argument between two sides, and when you pull somebody else in, and then they got dirt, and then they got dirt. This is an endless process that continues to hurt people to the point that it affects their careers. This has nothing to do with Mark, except for Mark is the root hub of the topic, and that's it. And at some point, you have to lay down the gauntlet. Mark is harmless to you. He's harmless to Harry Brogan. He's harmless to
That's
me.
not true. That's
It
not
is
true.
true. It's
No,
very true.
we don't know that,
I
Bob.
guarantee you, if you stop attacking him, you give him enough time, he
We've
will
done that,
stop
Bob.
attacking you.
We've done that in the past, you know.
No,
And like I said,
let's talk about Kelly Taylor's career. You want to talk about that? Do you want to talk about Kelly Taylor's career? How about the adult massage classes that she had? You want to talk about that? Let's talk about your fireman career, John. How long did you work for the fireman department? 1 month, 2 months, and then you hurt your
19
back.
years, Bob.
You hurt your back. It had nothing to do with an
19 years,
on-the-job back injury, and yet you're collecting
Bob,
a fireman.
why are you attacking me? Because you don't feel comfortable
Because, John, there's dirt in everybody's corner.
Not
and
in
nobody
mine.
profits from
Not
this.
in mine, and not in Kelly's.
Yes, there is, John.
Kelly's worked for a massage parlor. Let's see the
I believe
evidence,
she
Bob.
owned one. I
You're doing
believe
the
we
same
have
thing
proof of
that your
I
buddy
will
Mark
send you
Cruz
proof of
is
that,
doing.
Elisa Jordan.
You're talking about letting go and letting God. You're doing the same shit that Mark's done. So
No, what I'm saying,
I'm
John,
concerned
what
about
I'm
you.
saying to you, John, is there's a time when you have
You
to.
just made a statement that my wife worked in a massage parlor, Bob.
I didn't say she worked in it. I said she owned it.
She owned it.
And if I'm not mistaken, what started this entire
Can you
grudge
back
match
that up,
between
Bob? Do you have any
dictators,
evidence of that?
absolutely, I'm gonna send Elisa proof of that. So don't worry about that.
Well, I wish you
But
would.
here's another
I wish
thing.
you would.
Here's
Because
another
it's
thing.
bullshit,
Oh, I
Bob.
do
And
have
you're
it,
doing
John.
the same
I do
thing that
have
Mark's
it. It
doing.
is on my videos, John. I've turned my screen around and showed it, the proof
Bob,
to everybody.
you're doing the
right
same
down to
thing
her
Mark
ownership
does. Well, that's
title.
horseshit.
No,
Kelly
here's
worked for the
John.
fire
Yeah, but
department
you're
in
not getting
Riviera
it, John.
Beach,
You're not getting
and
it. See,
also
he won't let
retired.
people talk. Can you mute him for just 1 minute?
Oh,
Here's
now
the thing.
I need to be
No,
muted.
you need to let other people talk, John. You won't let people talk.
I just
That's
heard
the
you,
problem
Bob.
here. No, you
I just
ain't heard
heard
me
you.
yet, John. I'm not done yet, John.
More
I'm not
slander?
finished. No, not slander.
Bring it on. Yeah,
This
what you just said
reality
is
trying to
slander.
wake you up. All right, I'm just going to talk, and he can interrupt all he wants. Look, here's the thing. There's a lot more going on here.
A lot.
You're
No, there
not
isn't.
understanding. The very root
No, there
of
isn't.
why Kelly Taylor started going after Mark Cruz is the fact that Mark Cruz owed her money for sex.
Wrong.
And I know
again.
that because I was
are
on
you
his
hearing
radio
this, Alyssa?
station. There was only 8 people watching it total, and she owed him
More
$150 for putting that strap on.
More
him.
slander, Bob.
So don't
you should
talk to us
Bob,
about what we
you should be
don't
ashamed
know.
of yourself.
This come out of Kelly Taylor's mouth.
You should
John.
be ashamed. You're
This
another
came
lie,
out of
Bob.
Kelly Taylor's
Another
own mouth,
lie,
John.
Bob.
Kelly's right here.
This is not Mark that said this.
Another lie, Bob.
I know.
Well, yeah, everything's a lie when it's directed to you, right?
When you
Everything.
have
You've
no
never done
argument,
no wrong, right?
when
You're
you have
Mr.
no
Perfect,
argument,
right?
you resort to
More
lies
slander,
and
more.
slander,
Take me
just
to
like
court
Mark
then.
does.
Let's bring it out in court because I guarantee
Bob, you ain't
you're
got
gonna
nothing. You're not
fucking
worth
lose.
taking to court. But you, like your buddy Mark, who was going to put a restraining order but didn't on you. He faked it. If it becomes necessary, we could do that.
I'm not worried about that, John. Look, the whole world can put a restraining order on me. A restraining order does. Do you know what that does,
you know what a
John?
restraining order does?
Absolutely
It's kind of
nothing.
cases, Bob.
I
They
can still
stop
do
you from
videos
mentioning.
talking about you
Bob,
all I want. In fact, I think I might do a series on John and Kelly Taylor.
Well, you do
Oh
that,
my
Bob.
freaking God! How about
They're
we-
right here.
How
They're
about
right
we talk about John and Kelly Taylor
You
for the
should do
next
that,
10
Bob.
years and
He's
muddy up
already
your
done
freaking name
You
because
should
you
do that,
won't
Bob.
shut the fuck up and
Because that's what people
just
want to
let
hear.
things
More of your
die down.
lies.
See,
Let
because
Kelly
don't move
Taylor.
on.
Let
Mark
Bob.
Cruz
Let
has been
Kelly.
convicted. He's been
Let Kelly Taylor defend your accusations. Kelly, have you heard what Bob has said?
Yeah, that I own a massage parlor. Wow. That's no, I never have. I can't even give a massage. I've never owned a business. I'm a firefighter, paramedic, retired, and a former photographer. That's it. Never had a massage parlor. Never masturbated to Mark Connors with a pink rabbit dildo on Skype, like Mark claims.
I believe
never
you said that when you were privately arguing with him on his radio station on YouTube. That came out of your mouth.
No, it did not.
Yes, it did.
Bob, you're a wet brain alcoholic.
Don't
and you've
find Rob
lost brain
behaving
cells.
because I don't have access to my PC for another couple of days so I get my battery in. Rob Behaven has all of these files on his PC too, and he can show you proof right now that she used to own an adult massage parlor. In fact,
you
she
said
didn't own
Mark's
one
wife
of them.
was a porn
She owned
star.
8
Remember
of them.
Jennifer Nelms? I mean, your information is alcohol wash, Bob. You're a wet brain alcoholic, and
I'm not drinking. I'm not drinking. I'm
But
not
the
drinking.
damage is done.
But you can wake up. Oh, but the damage is done because he had a beer. Do you know how stupid you sound right now? You're a fucking whore bitch, and just because you're owed money, you go fucking hounding somebody to the end of their lives. It's time to fucking shit stop because now do you know how much damage you probably done to the victim, the supposed victims of Mark Cruz?
My God.
Do you know how much damage you've done to everybody surrounding everything that you touch? You're like the walking pit. You're a filthy slut whore. And just because he owed you $150 and wanted you to come over again that night and strap on his dildo and stick it to him for an hour and a half for $150, you get mad at him and you won't stop. You won't stop until he pays you the money.
This is the kind of shit that we've been dealing with.
Wow, wouldn't it be great to have old money?
Yeah. See, Mark has told these stories for the last 4 years, and he's got low IQ sycophants that buy it. And like I said, as long as he
and high IQ though, high IQ. I see some high IQ people falling for it.
Possibly. I don't know what the problem is.
Yeah.
But he keeps trying to put himself near children, and that's our focus on Mark. And whenever we expose him and let somebody know Mark's sick truths, then he comes after us. See, he's going to kill himself trying to spin this lie of 3 little girls. That's what's going to happen, because it's a complete fabrication. He's been telling the story for years, and it's a complete lie.
Ugh, how horrible this is going on.
Can you get John back in and keep Bob out?
Yeah, I could keep Bob out. Okay, well, let's just get John back in. You guys seem like a very nice couple. Sorry. Yeah, you do.
Well, you know,
Stern fan. I was following you back
when we're not running massage parlors, and you know, and I feel bad for Bob, because I think Bob's been used by Mark.
Yeah,
and now
everyone has.
Now he's taken a position. And look at the way he talks. I mean, that's just, you know, unexcusable. And Bob, you know, you're just making yourself look bad. And for this, for Charmin wanting to, you know, I appreciate she wants a resolution, but if Mark doesn't quit violating the law, the resolution is going to be criminal charges, and they are in the works right now. So that's all we can do. And
I mean, the only thing that upsets me, I think the thing that upsets me the most is just that I feel like he was trying to swindle me. That's how I felt. You know, by the incessant calling, and then he was lying about things that I said. He told people that I was asking him to produce my show. Like just lies that are so dumb, and like they make no sense why he would lie about that, because I know what the truth is. So when somebody starts lying to me about one thing, I just don't trust that person.
No.
So I'm more likely to trust like what you guys are saying than and really anyone else, because I just feel like when someone lies, they just lie all the time, and that's just who they are. And I know other people like that. And so yeah,
and if Bob has that video he's talking about,
I want to see it.
He should post it.
Yeah, I'd like to see it too.
Bob for a lot of years said that Mark's wife, and he had the wrong name of Mark's wife, but that she had done porn, you know, which was not the case. You know, and you know, I like Bob. I've tried to like Bob. I've tried to.
He's a likable guy. You should actually watch him, like his little streams. Like, they're very funny.
We do from time to time, but you know what? Talking to Kelly like that, Bob,
no, it's bad.
You should be ashamed of yourself, dude. And Mark's gonna stab you in the back, like he already. I think he already has. He was attributing all these statements, and somebody got a phone call that I can't mention. That's a part of a case right now. That the caller said that he was Bobby Lee Jones. So, and guess the phone number was guess whose? Mark Cruz's.
That's not a surprise at all. Hud, you have some kind of announcement?
Oh yeah, I think Kelly, my girlfriend, wanted to say something or not. I don't know. Do you want to say something or not? No. She doesn't.
Okay.
But can you please ask Charmin to pretty please, with whipped cream, extra fudge sauce, and those little rainbow sprinkles that are shaped like tiny pearls on top, help me run for U.S. president, please. Stop pinching me.
Well, happy, ready?
Yes. By the rivers of Babylon, where he sat down, and there he wept when he remembered Zion. For the wicked carry us away captivity, acquire from us a song. How can we sing King Alpha's song in a strange land?
You're a girl, you'll love it.
So let the words of our mouth For the wicked carry us away, captivity require from us a song. How can we sing King Alpha's song in a strange land? So let the words of our mouth and the meditation of our heart be acceptable in thy sight, override.
Hey, Mark.
Afternoon.
What's up?
What's up?
Just doing Kermit and Friends.
Yeah, I see that.
A lot of people are talking about you right now.
Yes, I see that. Huh.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know, but I'll tell you what. Gee whiz. Gosh, if you want attention, just go over on your show, that's for sure.
You love attention, I think.
Well, sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. Depends on what I'm doing and what for reasons I'm doing it for.
Yeah. Why are you doing it this time?
Well, you know, I was actually pressed to developing a character called the Crazy Joker. Okay. The Crazy Joker, for all of you to know out there, everybody out there, is a character. It's a production. It's a reality show that I've been producing for a long time. Now, I don't have any control over where the script goes, obviously. Mm-hmm. But that's kind of good, because you're in the entertainment business. This whole production is being put together by whom? All this crazy crap going on. That's why there's a song, Let the Crazy Begin. Because I knew this was going to end up happening, because these people can't resist. They just cannot resist stalking every move I make. It's unbelievable. And ma'am, I know you think I'm full of shit and all that stuff. You don't know the whole story. Nobody does. Only the people that were there know the truth of any of this, correct?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't sure what happened, but it just seems kind of weird. I mean, the whole thing is very odd.
Ma'am, I did not, I did not call you hundreds of times. I called you 7 times. And
you
that
called me so many times. You really did.
Okay, however many times you'd like to call it, there was a reason why. I saw a picture of somebody standing next to my Mercedes in Beverly Hills at my office, and I heard you were looking for me. Now, if you hear that on the internet, what would you do? You'd contact the person.
I mean, that is like insane.
I'm getting ready to go on vacation in about 7 days. You won't be able to call me. I'm going to be out on the water, and call me if you want to talk to me. That's all I did for you, ma'am. And if I in some way disrespected you, I apologize, because I know exactly what it's like to have your phone ring off the friggin' wall all day long, nonstop, all night. I know. So, you know, I knew it was hard for you. So I tried my best to find out why somebody was at my office and putting it on the dang internet next to one of my cars. That's all. I apologize that you took it the wrong way, ma'am.
Can you show us that picture? Because I'd love to see it.
It wasn't my picture. And I'm not sitting in front of the computer right now.
It's just weird, Mark. The whole thing is weird. I don't believe what you just said. I don't believe anything you say. I'm sorry.
It's all right. You know what? I have a hard time accepting things with you too, but that has nothing to do with it. Okay. What it has to do with is that too many people's real lives are infected and being affected by all of this bull crap. And it's been going on for so many, many years. It doesn't matter why now any longer. The fact is that somebody's attached their name to mine so that they can have a non-stop friggin' drama land. And they told me they were writing a book about me. And I was like, holy shit, no wonder why you're watching so much. They don't know that I have a relative that works for Facebook in Austin. And I hear about everything on every page. And I really do know what's going on. Now, let's get this straight here, ma'am. You're from Hollywood. You're from Los Angeles area, in that area. That's what you do, not where you were born, but that's what you do. You are in the entertainment business. You can see what's going on here. Come on. You're not an amateur. You can see. You had somebody call in and say, I'm doing a show. I'm doing a reality show. Shit, everybody's doing a damn reality show all of a sudden. Everybody's putting on masks and stuff. So the Joker, I want everybody to know the Joker is just a character. Don't take that dude serious in anything. He's the crazy Joker.
Oh, boy. Hi, Joker.
Hey, what's up?
Hi, Joker.
Thank you. Sorry I couldn't listen to you play the guitar that day when you wanted me to hear you play the guitar.
You're so pathetic,
I was a
Mark.
little busy,
Hey, Mark,
bro.
how do you
Yes,
like
sir.
the sheriff's department pulling up in your driveway? And we know you're there.
We don't have any problem with it.
We know you're hiding. Okay.
We don't have any problem with it.
And you got a lot of big
We don't have any
surprises coming to
problem
you,
with
little
it.
man.
I welcome any police officer, any
Yep.
ABC.
You're not going to welcome these ones.
Anybody to investigate me.
They're going to
want
extradite you to Virginia for the crimes you've committed.
Oh, well, shit. If I have to go to court, I guess they wouldn't have to extradite
and you'll
me.
have to go to jail. Yeah.
Oh, I have to go to jail
It's
again.
just wait. All
This
good
is what
things are
you're
worth
saying. You
waiting
say
for,
all
Mark.
the time, I'm going to jail over and over and over and over. You said the FBI was going to raid my house on
No,
Christmas Eve 3
no,
years ago.
no.
Dude, would you please, here, I'll tell you what. It's real simple. You guys want this shit to stop? Taylor, just say yes or no.
We've already told you that.
No, you have not.
A long time ago. You make deals with everybody and then you go
Bro,
back on it.
you never, I'm telling you guys, this is a very careful thing that needs to take place. There's a lot of crap going on out there.
We got enough.
John, sir.
The court is going to shut you down, Mark.
John, I'll handle that if it arises in my life, okay?
Yes,
I
you will.
want to hear you say right now, yes or no. Is this shit going to stop? And, and here's why I'm asking.
When you're stopped. Yeah, when you're stopped, it will stop.
Okay, all right. Nobody stops me from doing anything that I want to do.
I'm really confused right now. Kermit and Friends, how can I help you?
Hey, Lisa, it's Hud Isaacson. It's
Hey,
Jared.
Hey, Jared.
I thought that ceiling fan in the background on that dude's screen was a fidget spinner. I thought he was spinning around a fidget spinner. Is that funny?
Very funny, Hud.
Okay, take care.
Thanks for your call. Oh, that was Hud Isaacson. A very important call. All right, sorry, guys. Okay, go ahead, John.
Yeah, and Mark said, Mark, you've had many chances. You've had many chances to stop this.
All I need,
you've had many chances to retract your slanderous statements, and you were making them on Sharman's show the other day. All that shit about Kelly, it's bullshit. I know it's bullshit. When are you going to let go?
When you pause, I'll try to catch up with you. Okay, how about that?
Yeah. Okay. But if
all right. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this right here, John. It's real simple. It's real simple. I made a video and I put it up a year and a half ago, and I said, you guys, you're leaving me no choice. I don't want to fight you. I have it. And I said, leave it alone. Nobody ever wins in war. Nobody, John.
Why do you keep telling your lies then?
John, would you please let me finish? Would you let me finish? Let me finish, please, sir. Nobody wins in war. And as you can see, nobody here is winning. So it's real simple. You guys want to stop all this fucking pain and bullshit and drama and make something good out of it? Did you see? Damn, dude, you know damn well you would never, ever imagine me and T-Bob fucking hugging each other and praying together.
I couldn't imagine you ambushing him like you did.
That wasn't an ambush. He knows. He knows darn well. He knows darn well I was in business.
Yeah, but what about?
No! Don't change the subject, John. Don't change the subject, John.
The courthouse.
Don't change the subject, John.
Remember the restraining order that you didn't file?
I'm going to let Bob talk for a minute because talking to you just
remember.
I'm not going to let you change the subject.
You filed that fake restraining order on Bob. You remember that?
He knows damn well it wasn't.
Do you remember that?
He knows it wasn't.
You didn't file anything. We checked with Sumner County. You didn't file anything.
He knows.
And if you went there with a restraining order, you would have been violating it. So
that's right.
You're just lying again.
Huh? That's true.
But you told everybody. You told everybody that you'd filed it.
Okay.
That was a lie, wasn't it, Mark?
Do you know any better, John? Go ahead and prove it. Look, I don't have time for it.
Because I called. Now you don't have time.
You do not want to face the music, John. You just
Why
want
are you yelling? Why are you yelling?
John and Kelly are on this popular roll, I think. Where they got something and they can be popular on the internet, so they just won't stop.
Yeah, that's what it's about.
Any adult would have recognized that we've already made Mark the most famous
No, wrong.
person for
Infamous.
this era in the
Infamous.
world.
Wrong
What more
word,
do you
Bob.
want, John?
And Mark does
do
that
we
all by
gotta do to
himself.
stop all of this, John? You're
Mark
the
does that all by
bullheaded
himself,
jackass
Bob.
that won't shut up and stop and leave it alone.
No,
I wish you would come.
not as long
I
as
tell
he's
you what,
violating
I'm
the law.
inviting you to come see me, motherfucker, because I got a whole lot
Now we're
more.
gonna fight, Bob. I tell you what,
No, I tell you
if
what,
that
I
was me
don't
there,
like
that would have
you
went a
because you're a
different way.
filthy lying piece of crap. I'll tell you
Uh-huh.
what, I got you in a lie. I'm starting to wonder if maybe we should notify Nashville courts about your lie. Remember when
What
you
was
went
that?
to court with Mark Connors? Remember when you two went to court?
Yes,
and
I
the
do.
judge asked you if you two had ever met in person, and you
we
said
told the
no.
truth.
Remember earlier in this
That's
show
why
when I
they
brought
threw
up the
out the restraining
microphone?
order, Bob.
Remember Mark Cruz's microphone? How did I know about that, John? Because you were talking to Mark Connors years ago, and you brought up
They
the
said
fact that
met
you
in
asked
person,
him, you said,
Bob.
how did you get that microphone? You got that from coercion and threatening a well-known radio man who was going to retire, and in fact did retire that day that Mark talked him out of that microphone. You were working with the guy, yet you stood up in that courtroom and you told the judge you two had never met in person. You lied in court, John.
No, Bob,
so who's the
we
fucking
never
liar
have.
here? What
We
about
never
when
have.
Mark does these comedy bits? And you know what? You try to turn them into true lies.
Let's ask Mark
What
right
about
now.
no,
Bob,
I'm talking
Bob,
here.
shut
So
up.
shut up,
Shut up,
jackass.
Bob.
Look,
Mark,
what about
have we
when
ever
Mark
met in
does
person?
the Joker, the crazy Joker comedy bit that he does? You try to turn that into, he's
Mark,
serious about that.
have we met in
What
person?
about when Mark pretended he was
Okay,
Chuck
Bob,
Connor's
just
son? There's
keep
no
flapping your
possibility
lips.
of that.
Just
but you know what
flapping
John
your
did?
lips.
John turns that in as that Mark is crazy. He actually thinks he's Mark Connor's son. No, Mark has done a lot of comedy bits. I mean, a lot of
Yeah,
it.
this is all
When he tried to
satire, right,
start the
Bob?
fire out in the woods, he don't know how to start a fire because he never heard of kindling.
This is all
big deal.
satire,
He's not an outdoors guy. That was all comedy. What about when he was fishing with
all
the
I can
club
tell you,
in the
Bob,
water,
is
hitting
the
at the
state of
water trying to
Virginia
go
doesn't
fishing and catch a
consider
fish?
his threats as
That
a
was
crazy
a comedy
Joker
bit,
satire.
John. But what did we do? We went with your version. This
Bob,
guy's a retard. He's
Bob,
an
you
idiot.
just asked a question. Will you let me answer it? Bob,
I'm
are
just
you there?
saying, John, this needs to come to a
Bob,
end.
you just accused me of lying in court. Let's ask Mark.
You did lie in court. You did lie in
Mark's
court.
gone. No, we never. The reason the restraining order got thrown out is that Mark admitted in court that we had never met.
Okay, so both of you lied. Big deal. Why did both? Now,
So we both
wait,
lied.
shut up. I got a question for Alyssa. Why would these two people lie in court and say they had never met each other?
Because we never
Alyssa,
had.
why?
Mark, right?
There ain't but one reason. They both lied in court to the face of a judge.
John, did you or did you not ever invite me while I was on my tour bus to come to your farm and stay the weekend with you and your wife? Did you or did you not?
Yes.
While you were on my
Yes.
show.
Did you come?
No. Why do you think I didn't
Have we
come?
ever met, Mark?
Why do you think I didn't come to that?
Mark,
Because I had already had passed with somebody else. I didn't need to be involved in it anymore,
Bob
dude.
said we both lied in court.
No, you lied in court. Get it right. Get it right, bro.
How is that?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. All I know is, John, what you're doing to yourself right now is stupid. It needs to stop.
I saw you in your camper.
It needs to stop, John.
I saw you in your camper.
John is not a godly man. He does not want to enact forgiveness beyond measure.
I'll forgive him after he goes to jail.
He does not want to put this to God.
I'll forgive him after he goes to jail.
This man has no right to tell me whether or not I can work with children. A judge did that.
WSMV did it.
See, a judge did that. Bullshit. A judge did that. And you have no right. You have no right, John, to do what you're doing. I can work with children all the hell I want to, and you know it.
Well, then why aren't you still at your karate studio?
Dude, I'm not even going to comment on that.
Well, we have information on that, you guys. Let's play the information we have on that, Mark. We know why the karate studio is no more. Okay, just everybody relax for a second. I'm just going to play this little video that I've been sent, and then we're going to try to go to a normal segment, right? A nice normal segment where everybody is very relaxed. That would be nice. Okay, so we have a Mark Connors karate studio video file. Let me see that, Mark. Oh, Mark Cruz. Okay, here it is.
Karate instructor for kids is not pleased with what the News 4i team uncovered about his past. Chief investigative reporter Jeremy Finley discovered how he and others are avoiding the sex offender registry, even if they pleaded guilty to sex crimes against children.
That's Mark Cruz heading into work.
Are you Mark by chance?
He doesn't realize the News 4 I-Team is also here to confirm he teaches children.
What age group do you teach?
I teach all of from like 10 on, basically.
10 on?
No, about 7, 8, 9, 10 in that area.
We wanted to know because of this. In 2009, when he was 46, he pleaded guilty to statutory rape of a then 15-year-old girl.
Excuse me, Mr. Cruz. My name's Jeremy Finley. I'm with Channel 4. Do you think a man who's guilty of rape should be teaching children?
Please leave this property. So how does a man who pleaded guilty to a sex offense against a child end up running a karate studio for kids? Because of a deal the News 4 I-Team found that keeps him and others guilty of the same crime off the sex offender registry.
This is about avoiding the registry.
This is all about avoiding the registry.
Our investigation found state law allows plea deals for people who admit they're guilty of statutory rape. In Cruz's case, he was charged with aggravated statutory rape and pleaded down to statutory rape. And look at his case file. No contact with his victim and no sex offender registration. We found it happened in 2 other cases just this year in Nashville. It means Cruz doesn't have to tell any of the parents of his students about his guilty plea.
And I can only imagine people will see this and think, this law isn't working.
Well, the law gives the judge the discretion to put the person on or not. But that's a negotiation tool.
Look me up. You won't find my name on any predator list.
In this undated YouTube video, Cruz says he's innocent and suggests he made the deal to keep his voting and gun rights.
Because I'm not a predator.
We had a lot of questions about that, but as you can see,
you don't want to say anything in your defense.
I can't believe this.
He wasn't interested in answering them.
After that night, we called Mr. Cruz and again offered to do an interview. He declined. A spokesman for the DA's office that made that deal says they're just following what the law allows. Jeremy Finley, News 4 I-Team.
If there is something you want the News 4 I-Team to investigate, here is the email address and phone number to call. You can also find this information on our News 4 app.
I think John Taylor will be calling that number. So that's not good, Mark.
No, it doesn't look good, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Uh-huh. So
what the hell?
What is it that you're sharing that wasn't shared a long time ago? First of all, let me tell you, ma'am, I did do an interview with that man. I did an 1.5-hour interview with that reporter. Doesn't say a word about it. He doesn't say a word about it. Nope, he's a shock reporter, just like what's going on here.
It was shocking. No, I was shocked when I saw that. There's another longer one that was just too long to play here.
Yeah, they got several different things. Now, I'm not going to get an
That's a lie. And you can call up Jeremy Finley, who's that reporter, and he'll tell you that Mark hit out like he's doing right now, hiding from the law and hiding from accountability. He never had an interview. Just call Jeremy Finley, the reporter in the story, and let Jeremy know that Mark's claiming that he did an 1.5-hour interview with him, and see what Jeremy has to say to you.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Cool. I did an 1.5-hour. I did an 1.5-hour interview with him and their editor. And the last thing I asked, I said, "Are you going to run this story because it's going to affect a lot of people?" And she said, "I'm not sure yet." Go ahead and ask.
It's weird that they didn't mention any of the country singing, I thought.
Well, no, but my stalkers made sure they did.
Oh,
See, Elisa, look, you can look at it however you want to, ma'am. There is a video of me 1.5 years ago and saying, look, you guys got to stop this. This has to stop. I've been diagnosed with some serious stuff going on. There was a lot of stuff going on in my life with health, and there still are. And I don't need this. Nobody needs this. But I told them, I said, look, nobody's going to win here. I knew this was going to get this friggin' big and bad. I knew it was going to affect everybody's personal lives. And I put that video out and I asked them over and over and over, please stop. You got a lion in the cage and you're poking at him and poking at him and poking at him. And one day soon, that zoo feeder that feeds the lion is going to leave that door open, and that lion's going to come out fighting like a son of a bitch after being poked for so long.
Is that you?
Yes. And
You're
I
the
said,
lion?
yeah, I'm the lion. Yes, that they were poking at and poking at and poking at. I never start a fight ever anywhere. I have never in my entire life started a fight. I don't believe in fighting. Nobody wins.
Yeah.
So if John Taylor and all of these people want to end this, I've offered that a long time ago. And all I need to hear is, here, I'll give you an example. Somebody bartered a deal like this several weeks ago already. Guess who was the first person to hit unpublish every single video within 10 seconds? Guess who it was?
Bob?
Me.
Oh.
See, I do want this to stop for many, many reasons. Many reasons. And over time, you'll see why I want it to stop. I have a responsibility right now, Lisa. You guys can take this however you want to. I have been faced with life and death. All right? I have some things I need to accomplish in my life. I need some things that I need to focus on in my life like everybody else. I need to right my wrongs like everybody else. I need to make up for things that I missed out on in life, being married to a career and not to a beautiful woman like I am now. My wife should be left out of this. Kids should be left out of this. No, there's no law. There's no rules in this fight. Nobody's going to win. So John Taylor and Kelly Taylor and everybody else that they've passed their wands on to. See, this is the problem with making the deal. They always go and pass the wand on to somebody else, and then they make the deal. That's not how you do it. You just shut down. Done. It's that simple, people. And all of these people's lives wouldn't be affected, especially one person that a bunch of us are concerned about, whether you're in that you believe this or you don't believe that. It doesn't matter. I went, all I can say, I'm not a lawyer. All I can say is I went through the court of law and I walked out that door a free man. Nothing at all, you guys. That girl proved she saved my butt. And you know who I'm talking to. We turned over an email to that judge where that girl confessed that my daddy's going to do this to you. We turned the email over. That's what made the change. She lied. She was forced to lie by her dad that is sitting in prison right now for $130 million fraud. And I had something to do with that. So I don't know what else to say. I knew when I was standing there what the risks that I was taking. I could predict the future so easily, but you know what? I'm going to say it right now. I don't care what anybody has to think about it. Those girls are no longer being molested. Period.
All right. I don't know, Mark.
You don't have to know, ma'am. I understand. And if I was looking at me from the outside, folks, I'd be just as disgusted and pissed off too. I really would. But you guys just don't know. I didn't risk my whole life, my career, my finances, my future, my marriage, everything. I didn't risk it all for nothing. Not stupid. I wouldn't go and kill I would not kill a huge, promising career to do something so stupid. And here, I'm going to say something real fast. I love you guys.
That was nice.
Do you know who that's to?
The Kermitarian Network? I don't know.
Okay. I'll rephrase it again. Kermitarian Network. If you do great things for people, and if you have a positive message and not all this drama that destroys people's lives, man, I can tell you what, a whole bunch of people would support you a whole lot more. And I love you. There you go.
There you go. All right. Gene Wilder has something to say. He has an announcement. Gene Wilder, what's your announcement, my friend?
All right, so I wanted to clarify the beginning of Kermit and Friends when Barry called in. Was that a Barry Metzi?
Yes, it was.
All right. So he was talking a lot of shit about you. He was talking shit on the phone. He also talked shit about my song. He left me a YouTube comment that said, "Song sucks, but I give you an A for effort. Don't quit your day job."
He's just a jerk. Listen, Gene, he's a jerk. He's a jerk. I mean, that's just the end of the story. Barry's a jerk. Okay. And you can just block him from everything. That's what I've done. That's what I recommend. So do not worry and do not let Barry influence anything, any decision you make. Because your song is awesome and you're incredible. And I hate Barry. It's so annoying. He's so annoying how he does stuff like that. I can't stand Barry. But, today's show, I don't know. My instinct is that we're dealing with a couple people that are lying, right? A couple liars that just lie and they just want attention. And that's fine. I want attention, but I don't really like lying, okay? I think the best is when someone's authentic and when someone is disingenuous and they're trying to cover up things, it makes them like less interesting to me. So what my hope is that when someone comes on here, that they are authentic, they say like who they are, what their motive is. I mean, that's a lot to ask of people, actually. It really is. Because in life, even like at a party or at a restaurant or anywhere you go in your life, people are usually, they have a wall up and they're trying to pretend, oh shoot. They're trying to pretend to be someone they're not usually. I mean, I went out last night and I'm usually typically not impressed because people are just not vulnerable. They try to be cool. They try to be someone they're not. And that's something I just really don't like. And I don't know, Coach Love, what do you think? Do you, when it comes to people, I don't know why you're muted, but when it comes to people, do you judge them based on that, on how,
oh, I'm sorry.
How authentic they're being?
I was looking at something. Something else.
What?
Anyway, sorry.
Not Barry.
You know what? I do hope that everybody could get along a little bit better.
Yeah,
that would be nice. I do hope that I'm glad that all the major parties, like John was here.
Kelly Taylor was on the phone. Jennifer called in. I missed the call, unfortunately, but she did call in.
So those parties were here. And as for what I think, those are the parties who have verifiable information in this.
Yeah.
And so it would be very nice to have them talk in a real way without anybody interrupting, So I would like to.
I mean, that's going to take like 9 hours. So if you want to do that on your wrap-up show today, I say yes. I say go to Coach Erica's wrap-up show and everybody can go there and you can talk and you can, get all, because she leaves people up like the whole time. So if you want to talk and you want to get something off your chest, like if you're John Taylor or if you're Mark Connors or if you're Bob, like, she'll just leave you on there and you can have a conversation for as long as you want. And I think that could be a good thing. I don't know. It's like hurting my brain, honestly. It's just too much. Like I just, it's too much. It's past where I thought it would go. And there's so many people involved and I'm willing to get everybody's story. I find it truly fascinating. Like Charmin, her main platform that she spoke about ever since she came on this show was like, I feel like she talked a lot about like pedophiles and rape and stuff like that and women's rights. And now we got a guy that's a convicted felon of rape, but he pled guilty to a lesser charge of lesser rape. Yeah. I have that right. And she's like his friend. She's like doing shows with him and they're going to do all these things together. And that's just very fascinating to me. And that stands out the most to me out of any of it. I don't really care about like the rest of it, like the karate studio and like,
I want to bring up this, and maybe your audience is familiar with this, and maybe not. And I'm not saying that Mark falls in this category. I am saying this: 5 young boys were convicted, went to jail for a number of years. They were in jail, and guess what? They were innocent. I am not saying that this is the case with Mark, but in the vein of what's that young man he was just saying that he was like tried for something and a lot went on. This is what I can say. Nobody here, not me, not you, not Charmin, none of us know anything other
No, but if
than,
someone like was convicted of being guilty, if someone was convicted of being guilty, are they guilty?
Well, he wasn't convicted.
No, he was. He pleaded. No, he said, I'm guilty. They had enough evidence to convict him.
Convicted and pleaded are two different things. And
okay, have you ever pled guilty for rape, Coach Love? I doubt it. I doubt anyone here.
That would be like
just
saying,
him.
have you been pled guilty for rape? No, but
that would never happen to me or you. But it happened to him.
I can't say it would happen to me. This is what I'm going to say to you for sure. Have I ever been accused of doing something that I did not do? 100%, because people can make their mouths say anything. I'm not defending Mark. What I'm saying is, I don't know, you don't know, and most of these people who have their mouth open, they don't know. What people have done in my eyes is latched on to a position and decided to defend it without cause. No, none of us have a right to go, Mark, you're guilty, or Mark, you're innocent. The only people who can really speak to that are the victim and Mark, because they are the only people who actually know. Now we can say, well, he pled guilty, and he can say, and someone can say, well, that's an Alfred plea. That doesn't really mean he's guilty. We can argue those points because those are points that people can speak to legitimately. But as for what actually happened, none of us can do it. And I think what's bothering me is that we're spending a lot of time talking about something that we cannot hold up. What we know for sure is this happened several years ago, yet we're still spent up about it. And I wish we had spent this time on this show doing something, I don't know, more in line with something we can prove. We had that young lady, Katha, come on this show. I'm not Katha, I'm sorry. Katha's coming on my show, a different show, but we had that young lady, Nicole, come on this show, and we could have unraveled a whole lot about caregiving. Johnny B talked about in the chat, you'll find it like deep in there, the fact that he was a caregiver. She wrote that book. A lot of people have a heart for being a caregiver, but we didn't even go there. We didn't talk about the difficulties and the challenge of in isolation of being a caregiver at all. We didn't talk about that at all. We could put forth those things, because right now.
So you could talk about that on your wrap-up show, but you know as well as I know that's boring compared to this.
Well,
that's boring. That is boring. I doubt you will talk about that at any length on your wrap-up show, because the most exciting thing that's happening right now.
I did 2 shows with her. I've done 2 shows with her. One was an hour and a half, and one was an hour long. So yes, I've done 2 shows with her. It wasn't boring. It was the kind of thing that I like to do. So yes, I talk about those things a lot, a whole lot. I do a wrap up show here because I've learned to care about the people in this community. I care about you. You care about all these people. So I've certainly extended myself to the people in this community. I'm glad to see JB is posting, because as I posted in the Discord, he had experienced a lot of bad weather. So my operation system is kind of lifting people up, not clawing at people. And anytime I've seen that on this show, I've always said to you, I don't like that. I've said that to you. When Sigmond and Wappy was fighting, I literally called you and said that hurt my feelings. And nobody was doing anything or saying anything about me. I just don't like that clawing at one another. It hurts my heart. So I that's just not what I like. It's okay, though. I think we're getting better, and I hope we're getting better together.
Yeah, I mean, so, okay, I'm just going to wrap up my thoughts, okay? So these are my thoughts. These are just my thoughts. I don't say these are Coach Love's thoughts. These are not Charmin's thoughts. These are my thoughts. When someone lies to me from the very beginning, I think they're a liar. I always think that, no matter who it is. Even if it's someone that sits next to me at my work or someone, a former colleague of mine, a family member, whoever the hell it is, when someone starts lying to me at the beginning, I watch it right away and I'm onto it. I don't know if that's me just because I'm bitter, getting older. I know people by now, right? So when somebody lies to me about where they live, that they say they live in my neighborhood and they go to the Ivy and I know the Ivy is fucking over and there's no paparazzi there and they're saying there is. I know where all the paparazzi goes. You can't lie to me about that, my friend. That's something I know about. You lie to me about Beverly Hills. I know every street here. You cannot lie to me. You can't lie and say, I asked you to be my producer, because I certainly did not ask you that. I have producers that I like. And also I produce my own show as well. And I don't trust people. Okay. So when I see people that are like standing for something, or they say, oh, I'm for women's rights. I love women. I'm here for women's rights. That's what I stand for. Rape, pedophilia. I'm against all these things. It strikes me as very odd that they would then like work with someone that pled guilty. Okay, maybe just statutory rape, whatever the hell that is. But, you know, you were big rape and now you're littler rape. So now we're going to work with you and love you and like, you know, do shows with you and take your promises like the 15-year-old did. The guy was making promises to a woman that was 15 and now he's making promises to women that are, I don't know how old they are, but they're older, okay? He's doing the same thing. Usually men, who they show you who they are on the first date is who they're going to be the whole time. When you meet somebody at first, take a good look at them because they're going to show you exactly who they are. So if somebody's lying to you about where they live or if they're a big country star and then they say, yeah, I'm a really big famous country star. And then you worked at Sirius XM. So you actually know people that run country music stations and they say they've never heard of this person. And you know they're wrong about the restaurants and they're wrong about your town and they're lying about everything. And they called you 8 million times. They're a psychopath. And that's fine. I love psychopaths like Kermit and Friends. Come back. You'll be the main star. You want to be my co-host? Be my co-host, okay? I like when people are authentic and honest, and I'm just saying my piece. I don't care what anybody else thinks. I found it fascinating that people that are for women's rights are protecting someone that pled guilty to statutory rape. That's the kind of thing I like on Kermit and Friends because it's different than me. And if you're different than me, I want you to come on Kermit and Friends every week because that's what we celebrate here. See you next week. I love the show today. Thank you so much.